I hear your heart beat to the beat of the drums. Oh, what a shame that you came here with someone. So while you're here in my arms, let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die young. Beat to the beat of the drums. Oh, we're locked in. We gotta make it. Let's make the most of the nether like we need some basalt. Beat to the beat of the nether. I love being stupid. It's so peak. Oh wait, shit. These are literally azimuthal projections. So to say that it requires sphericity is ridiculous. Here we see that all the paths of planets fit right within a ferrocell magnet torus field. Okay, what a coincidence. And to address this misnomer that sunsets are impossible on a flat Earth and they just go behind the curve of the Earth, that's also not true. Here we see the sun disappearing above the horizon with a horizontal line blocking the bottom of it far above the horizon. This is proof that the sun can disappear up above the horizon due to atmospheric conditions. Of course, we have tons of assumptions when it comes to the military that the Earth is flat, specular reflection, and I'm going to someone. So while you're here in my arms, let's make the most of the night like we're gonna die. Our feet to the beat of the drums. Oh, what a sugar cane that with the sigma and yeah. I need to set up an auto sugar cane farm. Specular reflection, you see that just a small concavity or convexity in the water actually causes what's called a diffused reflection. You'll see here in the left. So you actually a flat surface, you have a specular reflection. We see these over long distances consistently. So we'll just skip over here. So and then of course the globe claims that the horizon is a converging surface, and it is not. It's literally a horizon that is appearance. That's why it is where the sky appears to meet the ground. So here we can get into some of the specifics here, but of course, also on a globe, the horizon should drop down and away from you as you increase altitude. What we see in reality is it rises with us, which is a major problem. So, long story short, the entire globe model depends on the accuracy of the plane radius value, and if that radius value is wrong, the entire model is wrong. So, in closing, what I'm going to say is, again, falsification is independent of replacement. The literal default position is that the Earth is a stationary plane. The globe says, well, yeah, but it's so big it looks flat, and it's so big that based on the angular rate of motion, you can't tell that it's moving. Could that be true in theory? Sure, but that is a concession that the default position, based on empirical evidence and observation, is that the Earth is a stationary topographical plane, hence why we utilize it as such for all military technology, etc. Therefore, to make a claim that everything is antithetical to that, you objectively and logically have the burden of proof. And then we'll get into a lot of the things that he mischaracterized my arguments regarding throughout the debate. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thank you for the opener. I want to give you both. What do you think? Like, I assume there's one or two things that both of you have said that strongly disagree with. Other.
You're a Midwesterner.
Do you want me to open it up to just give you both a 5-minute period for rebuttal? No. Or are you just going to leave it open? Can dig into it. Okay. Why don't? What was the first particular topic, maybe, Dave, you want to poke around?
Well, Austin is denying this idea. He's insisting that the default position is the flat plane, empirically, observably, everything observable. Okay, so explain the observations from antiquity that I told you. How are you getting the sky to rotate in opposite directions depending on where you're standing? Let's start with there. How observable is that? How does that fit?
Yeah, this is what always happens. Instead of providing evidence that the surface is curving, you're saying, well, what if it's not? Then how does this happen?
No curved surface. You said the default position, flat plane. I'm asking you on your flat plane, explain the observations of the celestial sphere. In the north, you get counterclockwise rotation. In the south, you get clockwise rotation. Explain that to me on your default flat plane. Explain it.
Yeah, so the counterclockwise and clockwise direction is super simple. It's based on looking different directions. Your better question is, why does it go around a singular point? Is what you're trying to say.
No. How do you look in a different direction?
Direction. That's where the direction.
It just looking opposite directions and make them go the opposite directions. Like all from east to west.
If you put a clock on your ceiling, which way can you face to make the hands go counterclockwise? Tell me which way.
It's not analogous with stars.
No, it is though, because the hands on a clock. You don't get it.
the stars drop due to perspective, so we're actually looking out towards them, not directly up.
Which
You know
depends
that?
on your latitude, right? Depends on your latitude. If you're at the equator, they're going from horizon to horizon.
Wait, do you agree that if I was looking out, something was spinning one way, and then I looked at it from the other direction, it'd look like it was spinning the opposite
No,
way?
it
Yes or
wouldn't.
no?
It wouldn't.
Okay,
That's why
so-
I said, you just said, if I put a clock on the ceiling, right, which way, I'm asking you, which way you just said, if something is spinning one way, and you look a different way, it'll spin another way. So I'm asking you, put a clock on the ceiling, which way can you face? That'll make the hands appear to go counterclockwise.
You obviously don't comprehend what I'm saying.
I think you don't understand what I'm saying.
Would you agree that things will appear to drop due to perspective?
Why are you talking about perspective?
Because you don't understand it. So if
You're trying to obfuscate.
no, I'm not. If the stars are above me
Let me help
on
you.
a plane and I look out, they're gonna look like they're dropping down, which means I'm looking out at. You don't even understand basic stuff.
Look at this. Hang on. Where's the camera? Which way is this turning? Which way is this going? Which way is this going?
I hate you.
I don't know. Which way is it going?
Yeah, which way is it turning?
Who cares? What's the? Why are you obfuscating away
Is it
from
going
what I'm saying?
counterclockwise? No, I'm talking about exactly what I'm talking about. Is this going clockwise or counterclockwise? Come on, just give me the answer, buddy. You can see it.
To be fair, the webcam is mirrored, so it might be.
Oh, it is?
I think so. So
Well, I don't know, and I don't. What's
No,
the
I see it going counterclockwise. I see it going counterclockwise.
yeah, that's how.
That's going counterclockwise, right? Just say it, Austin. Just say it.
It looks like that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we keep it turning.
You think I don't understand the concept?
No, I'm showing you, and I'm showing all the viewers. Look, which way is this going now?
We all get the concept.
Going clockwise. So if you're standing up here and you look at the sky, you see it rotating counterclockwise. If you're down here, you see it rotating clockwise. So admit that this phenomenon makes perfect sense on a globe, and on a flat Earth it doesn't, which is why you're rambling about perspective and all these other things.
No, there was no rambling. You incessantly interrupted me explaining it because you know you can't
You're
actually allow me
trying
to
to
say.
change the subject.
Okay, let me ask.
I'm not.
Let me try this.
I hate you.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Can we start with? Because you guys are both super familiar with this. Let me toss out. So people can dip a toe. One of the biggest conversations that goes back and forth. Both of you talked about this in your videos. Is in a flat Earth. Dave's video points out that there are some issues where, for example, the sun is coming around, right? And we know because we live here that one area of the world is in perpetual light, the other's in perpetual dark. This would be non-congruent with a flat Earth. So, what is the flat Earth position? Am I describing that fairly, Dave? I'm overseeing.
Sure. The flat Earth cannot explain the region. That was my second point, that we cannot explain the
That's
regions.
what I was trying to remember. Yeah. Okay. So what is
The regions of illumination, the parts of the Earth that are day or night at any given time.
But I know you know the answer. So I've heard the answer given. No, but Dave knows the answer. So something
The
called
answer is that if you're facing the sun, it's day, and if you're not, it's night. That's the answer.
Dude, Dave, I'm gonna enlighten you, bro. If you don't allow the other person's point to be made, you didn't win anything. No matter how much coping's going on in the chat.
For you to make a point. Go ahead.
Okay, it's called a coffee cup caustic. It's a literal physical effect that can be replicated. The light will actually bend around the rim of any type of containment. It can literally be demonstrated and shown to perfectly replicate the seasons, the perfect light distribution on a planar. You're objectively wrong. You've had this presented to you, and now you're back here in front of people pretending you don't know what it is.
Who has presented this to me?
Dave
If you
Weiss
guys
did. I
get-
watched it.
No, Weiss floundered like a buffoon. That's why you guys all call him controlled opposition now. If you could demonstrate this, you'd all have videos demonstrating
Coffee.
this.
There are
Show me the
literally
model.
hundreds of them.
No. I'm not talking about, oh, shine it, and ooh, it kind of does a thing, sort of. I'm talking about show the precise regions of day and night over a several-month period, right? Have it exactly precisely aligned with where
It's literally been done multiple times, Dave.
Sounds like an empty claim to me, because I've never seen it.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. So Austin, give him a second to explain the side. So you're saying what most people see is that the daylight
Assault
is
time.
predictable. Daylight, nightlight is predictable based on what is believed that the orbit, the current belief about the Earth's orbit. In a flat Earth, the rotation. Yeah. In a flat Earth, just let him finish. the audience doesn't know what coffee cup, whatever it is, right? So remember, okay, but remember you're talking to like normies.
Sure. Okay, so
that's what I'm asking. So Austin, you have 2
Okay.
minutes. Describe.
We need
talked about how the
basalt.
stuff goes on. So 2 minutes and then
So we're going to be working on these pathways. They're going to be made out of warped wood and basalt, because basalt is pretty and I like it.
Okay. So if you type in coffee cup caustic, which I will literally look, I'll share the screen. And Dave has been shown this in his debate.
Standpoint though. Standpoint.
Oh, okay. I am.
Answer my question.
Oh, okay. Just Google coffee cup caustic. If I have a coffee cup, if I took the lid off of my coffee cup and then light was shining in from the window, what will happen because of the rim is the light will hit inside the coffee cup and wrap around the entire rim. I can take this little flat earth model right here and do it live. I'd have to cut all the lights off, and since the windows are open, I can't. So it's very simple to explain it. There you go. It wraps around. Now, if you apply this to a flat earth, you will be able to perfectly replicate the distribution of light that gives us day and night, depending on the proximity of the source of light. It's easily done. Everyone knows that, and you can look it up. If you're new to that, that's fine, but just look it up, right? And the way that we determine sunset time is with the equation of time, which uses the apparent sun. It uses the mean of the apparent sun. So we don't even use the globe model and the physical location of the sun to determine sunset time or day and night distribution. In the real world, we use the equation of time. So you can replicate this on a flat earth. It goes in the globe earth and flat earth basket. It isn't exclusive to either one.
Now, how does this? And I'm going to kick it over to Dave after this question. But I've watched his debunk video, which is a little bit older, but has a zillion views. So congrats on that. But there's like, let's say you have this coffee cup caustic, right? And his claim is that there's like perpetual
So you need a warped
daylight
wood.
in this spot and perpetual night in this spot, right? Am I representing that accurately?
yes, near the solstices, there are places with 24-hour night, 24-hour day.
So how does that figure into this?
Yeah. Look, okay, I'll share the screen so everyone can see it.
Okay.
Does that work? We'll just do that. So I gotta find which one it is. Here we go. Okay. I got you. Okay. If you see here, this is a demonstration of the coffee cup caustic. Okay? That's what this is. So if you look, you put a dome over at the top of the flat earth, you're going to take a light source. It's going to give you see the distribution of the equinoxes and the solstice right there below it. Now watch what the light does. Okay, now look at it wrap all the way around in the solstice right there below it. Now watch what the light does. Now look at it wrap all the way around the outside. Okay, this is called coffee cup caustic, meaning if there was a container on the earth, it would literally have to do this. It would have to do this. And yes, all the mathematics has been shown, and I could pull that up if I need to. So the math has been shown.
I want to give, while you pull that up, I'm going to give Dave 3 minutes to respond because we went over. So I want to give Dave, I'm kind of keeping it rough, but just try to keep thumbs up. So I want to let Dave respond.
Yeah, I don't need 3 minutes. It doesn't perfectly match. It's just a very hackneyed demonstration that kind of sort of makes a shape. They're not showing any kind of actual model that directly correlates with all the positions. So number one, it absolutely does not correlate with the times of day and night. It doesn't do it. But second of all, it also creates gigantic problems because in order to get this, you're pretending that there's this dome, magical dome or whatever the hell you're talking about that's giving this effect, which number one isn't there, right? You cannot demonstrate that this dome is there. But number two, it creates other problems because if you're saying that the sun is outside of this dome, then you don't get to have the sun inside the dome for the magical explanation for tides and all these other things that don't make sense on a flat earth that you're pretending that sun and the moon do, right?
Yeah. Now, when Dave mentions this is another point of contention. I just, you guys are going at it, but I just want to keep everyone else in the loop. There is one of the points of contention is whether or not in the flat Earth model, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, is whether or not the sun is inside or outside of this hypothetical dome. Because in one case, it's responsible for the tides, and this, that, and the other. And in the other case, it's response. What is it? Tides and what did you?
Storms, everything.
Yeah.
Right? Coriolis.
So what is the?
Storms rotate in opposite directions depending on the hemisphere.
Oh my gosh. So okay, all right. So Austin, I'll give you. Go ahead, respond to that.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't know what's above us because you can't freely just shoot stuff up as high as you want to. Okay. And GPS cuts off over a certain height. It's all militarized. But there could be layers to it. I don't know if you've ever thought of that, Dave, but there could just be layers. There could be multiple layers. And yeah, we know the sun affects things here. Tides don't work. You just gish gouts. Tides don't even work in your model. You can look up a paper by a Harvard paper, a century of tidal theory failure. Okay, it's very simple. But this was if the whole debate is just, hey, let's just start spamming Austin with questions of how would this work on a flat Earth, that's not a debate. You're supposed to support the claim the Earth's a spinning ball. I showed direct falsification of it in my PowerPoint. So avoiding that is totally disingenuous.
The rotation of the night sky, depending on latitude, and you need an answer. You just say the word perspective and run away.
So Dave, I got 3 words out and you interrupted me.
No. You were free to answer. That's all you could do. You remember we did the whole thing with the clock on the ceiling, and you have no idea what you're talking about. You said that.
Fellas, let me do. Okay, I'll play ball. I think that's fair. Why don't I give Dave and Austin both blocks of time? Dave, defend your position. 5 minutes enough? You think?
No. We don't need to. I mean, longer chunks of time are just time for word salads, right? We need to actually.
All right, defend that the Earth is a globe. And then when you're done, I'll pass it to Austin.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
right? Look, that's what you're asking for, Austin, right? So I'm gonna do that.
I want him to rebut the specific falsification of the globe, where we see things from hundreds of miles away that should be obstructed by literal miles of vertical curvature, including silhouettes.
Pick one thing. Pick one thing like that. Okay, so that is the question.
Okay, the question is, why do we see too far? And the answer is, we don't. Sorry, they're all lies. Every time you do a picture like that, you're lying about the distance, you're lying about the elevation, right? The altitude from which the picture is taken. You're just lying, right? All of these things.
What is the picture you're talking about? Is this a picture where it's like, oh, here's a mountain?
They just take pictures and like, look at this thing that's so far away we shouldn't be able to see it. Or like, here's the Chicago skyline from across the lake, we shouldn't be able to see it. They're just always lying. They're just lying about the distance. They're lying about various.
Bro, everyone I showed was from a professional photography website that has nothing to do with flat Earth, but all of the information listed. Your model doesn't claim that the distances are wrong. That isn't your model's answer.
You guys just lie. That's all it is. You just lie about how far away things are and how high.
It's a professional photography website. It's nothing to do with flat Earth.
Well, can you share one so people can see what you guys are talking about?
Yeah, sure.
Anyone you want, as long as Dave agrees that it looks good. Share one that you think, Austin, that you think. I'm trying to, share one that you think supports your position, and that Dave can debunk the photo, or he can share his criticism of the photo. And while he's looking that up, I want to give everyone a chance to let you know. I'm joined here by 2 creators, 2 commentators. Witsit Gets It Done on YouTube, linked in the description. It's at YouTube at Witsit, and as well as Professor Dave. Also enjoyed your Terrence Howard video, because I think he actually is legitimately insane, but that I don't know. But the
virality of it.
Yeah, that was all right. Yeah, but both guys create content. One of the people on Twitter, I don't want to name names. Otherwise, you can find him on Twitter, or Dave, is there somewhere else where you want people to look for your stuff other than?
Nah.
Okay. YouTube.
One of these guys in the room is also propped up by all the algorithms.
Brian,
I make popular content, man. I make popular content because it's funny.
Wait. You're prioritized by the algorithm.
I'm prioritizing things that people like to watch. Prioritized by the algorithm.
If I Google Witsit Gets It, you guys come up.
So few people are stupid enough to fall for a flat Earth, so nobody watches you guys.
Dave, listen. If I YouTube Witsit Gets It geocentrism, a literal stream I did, you pop up. Can you explain to me why you're popping up when I search for me? Okay, let's not play games. YouTube admitted in Congress they deprioritize flat Earth content because it's misinformation. So
Yeah, I don't get it. I got if the Earth is flat, what's under it? Shorts.
Yeah, that's what I got.
From Earth's
Of
perspective.
course, because it's heavily censored. It doesn't mean it's true, but we don't have to play this game that like
I
you're
got a
not propped
TV.
up.
Jeff recommends popular content, but I make very good, informative, educational content.
Look at that. What do you wait? Go down. Go down. Go down. What do you have to do with
Okay.
to get to geocentrism? What does your video have to do with it? You
I
just
don't
proved
know.
my point live for the whole entire.
Maybe I put the keyword geocentrism in there. I don't even remember what my keywords are.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You don't know what you don't know what my keywords are.
I know for a fact you didn't. So anyway,
You don't even have access to my YouTube
because
studio.
I tested this because you're the number one propped up anti-flat Earth. Dude, they admitted in Congress that they consider it misinformation, so they deprioritize it and they prioritize the information correcting the misinformation. That would be you, according to them. So they prioritize you. If you look up anything flat Earth related, get Professor Dave. Okay, we all know that content blows the rest of your content out. That's why you got so many tens of millions of views.
Look, I have 1,500 tutorials. Do we really want to talk about my education?
No, bro, I'm not even. I hope like good luck, brother. I'm not hating on you or success. I'm just pointing out.
No, you definitely.
I'm literally not. If you make $400 million, I don't care. I wish you would. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm just pointing out, bro. I'm just pointing out the objective fact that it's hard.
I love you. But hold on. Now, here's a picture that Austin shared. Nobody denies that this picture exists. Austin, what do you say this is showing? Now remember, I keep bringing it back because people who are watching aren't as balls deep as you guys both are on the topic. You know what I mean? Sure. This is just a picture to me. What does this show?
Okay, so this was the world record at the time. It's been beaten now for the longest line of sight photograph ever taken. This is a mountain called Pic Gaspard. Okay, and it was so now on a globe. If I look out, the Earth should be curving and blocking things in the distance, similar to how I can't look around the corner, right? Like if I look, it's like looking at a hill. So based on your height,
Taking it 12,000 feet, though, right?
correct, right? So what you do is you pull up Earth Curve Calculator, you put the observer height in, and then it'll tell you where the horizon will be, and it'll tell you how much of the target hidden height there is. So this is from the Earth Curve Calculator, official calculator, and if you look at it, the observer was 9,000 feet up. The target hidden height, meaning how much Earth curvature should be there, is 16,000 feet, and the top of the tallest part of the mountain is only 12,000 feet. That means the top of that mountain should be 4,000 feet below Earth curvature.
Okay, and then Dave, what do you?
No sugar, no jitters, no crashes. So ditch those disgusting energy drinks. Choose the healthy option. Feed your mind and body.
Say to that?
Two things. One, I cannot verify any of those numbers. Those could absolutely be fabricated by you. And number two, we're not doing any of the math. So those are two things that are not being verified. So instead, let's talk about something purely conceptual and intuitive. Why can we see farther with elevation?
You're on the screen. Be careful.
Whatever.
I know.
Okay, I was saying.
This guy's just denying basic
Somebody
math.
is telling me I put my own home address on when I didn't realize it, so I was just telling
No, good. Yeah, I get you. Good look.
Okay, let me finish the thing I was saying.
Go ahead. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
So we can't verify any of these numbers. So instead, let's just talk about something very simple and intuitive. If we are looking at something at the horizon, if we go up in elevation, we can see farther. That is not intuitive on a flat Earth because that actually increases the distance to the horizon, right? If you're going up, now there's an additional distance, right? You get a hypotenuse that's always going to be longer than the leg there. So why can we see further with higher elevation? It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, that's insanely incorrect. So if you change your angle of view,
Okay, so just address the point, right?
I did
Okay, go ahead.
within 7 seconds. He made a claim.
You're
that
here
it doesn't
and you're
make any
looking
sense.
here.
It's
If you go up,
basic
this is
math.
even farther now, right? If you're here and you're looking at something here and you go up in elevation, that thing is now further away from you. So why can you see further with additional elevation?
Because you are increasing your angle of view.
Increasing your
You didn't know that?
You can see. Wait, how can you see a further distance? We're not talking about an angle. A further distance. How can you see?
Because now you are changing your angle of view, so you're increasing your angular resolution, the things that you can pick up in the distance. Also, the ground ramps up due to perspective. Dude, just think about it simply. If I was on a flat floor and I laid my head down on the floor, as I start to stand up, I'm gonna be able to see further along the floor because my angle of view increases. This is again not exclusive to a globe Earth. And you deflected away from the observation that refutes the globe again.
Because I can't verify any of these numbers. More than that, they're just lying about it.
Okay, so if the numbers are correct, then you can see it refutes the globe.
Probably not, no.
Okay, then answer it as if the answer, because these are not my numbers.
Okay, I don't know that.
Everyone at home's gonna be able to go look it up. It's an official photography, professional photography website.
I just want to let you guys both know. At the start of the show, I did a poll. Just so it's with about 3,000 votes, 65% Globe Gang, 35% Flat Friend, which I thought I'm going to run it again at the end because I thought this would be fun experience.
Nobody's going to change their mind here.
Well, that's probably true. So you've watched online debates before, Dave. So
Well, no, not really. He brings his flat Earth, people, and they're impervious to facts and logic, so they're not going to change.
Says the guy that says ducking a picture.
Yeah, I'm ducking a picture because it's a picture, right? I'm talking about very simple physical concepts, right? I'm talking about observations that we can all agree on, like the observation of the celestial sphere rotating counterclockwise versus clockwise, that you cannot explain, that only makes sense on a spherical Earth, that we used in ancient times to prove that the Earth is a sphere. That's why sphere is the default position that you're trying to undermine by.
But hey, real fast, can we show some intellectual honesty? I understand that you don't know these numbers, and fair enough. Okay, if you want to verify them, that's fair. That's fair. I'm asking you, in good faith, if the numbers were correct, which they are, what would be your response?
If the numbers were correct.
Yeah, it's an intellectually honest question, and it's actually disingenuous to avoid addressing the evidence just with the cop-out that I can't verify the numbers right now.
It's actually really not, because when you have an entire model that is all interconnected and all observable phenomena are explained by that model, one singular datum, like one photo, is not going to be powerful enough to undermine an entire model. If the numbers were true and if the math wasn't fudged, then I would say, okay, there's probably some kind of atmospheric effect or some kind of thing that I am not aware of that is making us see a little bit further. Maybe it's something that particular day. There's a particular humidity, or it's clearly over water that's going to increase the atmospheric refractive effects. None of these observations are ever done over land. I think that's why. Same with the skyline of Chicago. They're always done over water for you guys. So there's something clearly, just one singular explanation that's missing, and that's why one datum is not going to undermine an entire model that explains every single thing about the world that we live in, from everything we see in the night sky to geological phenomena to just absolutely everything in our world.
So, hand wave dismissal, red herring fallacies, appeal to possibilities. That's your rebuttal. Okay, we can move on.
Fallacy. Let's move on.
Do you know that fallacies are important, Dave?
Now, I know that you guys name random fallacies to pretend that you won something when you didn't.
That's going to literally appeal to possibilities. You said there's probably something that could possibly be happening. You literally did a textbook appeal to possibility. It's all good.
You're pretending that one observation is worth more than thousands and thousands of observations every single day.
I showed 10. It doesn't matter. You're just affirming the consequence, reapplying your model by saying it explains everything. What about the
We see too far.
What about the long distance radio waves? What about when we shoot radio waves line of sight?
That's thousands of sporadic heat propagation. It bounces off the layer of the atmosphere.
Okay, that's called skywave propagation.
Okay, hold on.
Sporadic heat propagation.
Everyone's had their say on that. Okay, let me ask you, what another thing that I found fascinating as a normie is the contention between the globe. What do they call to you, Dave? A glober? I don't know. What is the name? Heads. Globe. I don't care. And then so the globe people and the flat people is the idea that's one of the things that I saw Austin talk about and you talk about was that essentially 5,000 years ago there was a different North Star, and the question around whether or not the stars move, because that is actually paramount to the idea that the Earth is rotating around the sun versus the Earth being the center of the universe. So Austin, I'll go to Austin, then I'll go to Dave, and then next time I'll start with Dave. So in the flat Earth model, is it that the stars you explain the stars thing to the layman in the flat Earth model?
Okay. Wait, the star thing? Like the question you just asked about the star moving or something else?
I thought, maybe I misunderstood. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the flat Earth mindset was that the stars did not move. Is that not true?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, well, correct. There is a claim that the North Star used to be a different star, and it's a very vague, ambiguous claim based on like architecture. So there's no actual legitimate evidence verifying that. For all legitimately recorded history, we have Polaris. But there is something called a kinematic equivalence, which sure that sounds fancy, but it's not.
Hold on. I know you're explaining it, but you didn't ask. So what is it? What is the flat Earth position on stars? Do they move or do they not move?
They move every day. That's called sidereal rotation. If you mean over time, there does seem to be a slight progression of the stars. But what I'm trying to explain is that isn't exclusive to the Earth moving or not moving, right? It's called kinematic equivalence, which is what relativity is about. Relative motion. It's like, oh, is the plane moving or am I moving? You can never tell. That's what the globe model says. So anything that moves in the sky, could by default not prove that we were the ones moving, according to the official globe model. That's the point I'm making. It's called a kinematic equivalence. So whatever the stars are doing, because we can't go back 1,000 years and verify if the North Star was different, whether it was or wasn't, it doesn't prove that Earth is moving.
So Dave, your response to that?
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, the North Star became Polaris in like 600 CE or something. So that's a very old. No. Way more recent than that. Polaris. It was Thuban in the times of the Egyptians. Became Polaris. So that's well documented. But furthermore, we don't need to do that. We can very accurately observe Milankovitch cycles. We can see the precession of the rotational axis happens every year. It can be measured, and then there's parallax and all these other things. But that's not really what matters because again, he's trying to do this thing where he doesn't have to where he's pretending that geocentrism doesn't assume a spherical Earth. When the argument was going on in the Renaissance, early Renaissance about geocentrism and heliocentrism, we knew that the Earth was a sphere. So every time he does this kinematic equivalence thing, the kinematic equivalence he's trying to refer to is whether the Earth goes around the sun or if the sun goes around the Earth, not doing little donuts on a pizza land. That's not an equivalence. Those are not equal things. We're talking about one going around one or the other going around the other. Those are the two things. So geocentrism, you often try to defend a geocentric model. It assumes a spherical Earth. That is an actual model that can, to some reasonable precision, describe the motions of the celestial objects and put them where they're supposed to go and predict quantitatively where they're going to be. Flat Earth doesn't have that. You don't have any model. You don't have any way of saying this is where the planets are going to be. This is when an eclipse is going to happen. Any of these things. You absolutely cannot do any of those things. That's why I told you in the beginning, if you want to defend geocentrism, that's totally fine. We can talk about how we know that the Earth moves, which is a completely different topic from knowing whether the Earth is round or flat, because geocentrism uses a spherical Earth.
Okay, response to that also.
I'm stoked about Roku in 2025. They just started focusing on the self-service ads manager. It used to be a managed service, or you have to go through one of the large agencies. So I'm very excited for this.
Hey, you haven't seen me in an ad or commercial in about 10 years for the simple fact that I don't enjoy lying to you. I'm speaking to you today because I can honestly tell you that I've played more than 9,000 levels of Royal Match.
Okay, so what's happening is I'm specifically addressing the singular point in your dish cow thing. So, like, you want me to address everything you just said, right? Like, for one,
Kinematic equivalence, there's nothing.
How about this? I'll throw it at you real quick. Why is geocentrism exclusive to the Earth being a sphere?
Because it's a model that works. Flat Earth doesn't work. It doesn't explain anything we see, like the observations of the celestial sphere that you keep running away from. You cannot explain why the stars rotate one way in the north and the other way in the south. You cannot explain that.
All right, I'm going to take my time back and respond to everything you said. You didn't answer. So the answer is that it's not, because with everything...
You didn't answer. That's fine.
You didn't. You just started talking about star trails again. So with everything going on in the quote-unquote universe, you said the universe wouldn't exist. No, maybe not as you defined it, but with everything going on, all the quote-unquote planets, everything moving around, the Earth's shape doesn't matter. You just project that relative to your projection.
you create a transform relative to your projection or assumption of motion.
Observations of the night
Buddy,
sky.
I let you finish. Chill out. Okay, so
Hey, I love it.
so the truth is that all observations have shown that the Earth is stationary. We have the cosmic microwave background, which showed anisotropic inhomogeneous distribution of energy, which is the exact opposite of the heliocentric prediction, and intersected on the Earth. The 23.4-degree axis was on a non-local observation. Dude, define word salad.
You're just using words. You're trying to pretend that cosmology proves the Earth is flat. Then all cosmologists would be flat earthers. Do you have any
Straw
idea
man.
how insane you sound? No, it's not. You're pretending to understand cosmology. You're pretending
What
to
did I say that was word salad, Dave?
No, I'm saying it's word salad because it is word salad.
Name that word. I said that was word salad.
We're talking about the shape of the Earth. You're defending a flat Earth, which we figured out isn't true in 2,500 years ago, and you're trying to talk about modern cosmology to try to talk about this when you can't even explain naked eye observations of the stars in the sky.
Okay, look, they're directly related. The idea is that the Earth is a tilted, wobbling, spinning sphere that revolves around the sun. The alternative is that the Earth is a geocentric, stationary plane. Both of those are directly
15, 17, 19, 21.
Stationary sphere was the alternative. Prior to heliocentrism, we thought that it was a
Stop
stationary
interrupting.
sphere.
Prior,
Going off the rails, I got to bring you back to where we're talking about.
Hold on, guys. Okay. I'm getting some flack for allowing too much interruptions. That's on me.
There's no smooth stone
I
stairs.
know
That
that
pisses
both of
me
you
off.
feel passionately about this, but please try to keep that to a minimum. But I do want to say, most importantly, I think it's really important and really cool that both of you took time out on Saturday night to get online and do this and stream. And
Oh, no.
I just want to thank.
I'm
I just want to give
you
a
know-
shout out. I don't
you
care
know
who
what?
the people that
Do I spend 4 net? Do I spend 4 netherite on a floor pattern? Do I do that? Is that the play? Is that a power play? I mean, it is. It would kind of be my goal of like being able to flex. This will be like the boundary surrounding it. That's the biggest power play ever. So I gotta.
who are watching or whatever, both channels are linked in the description.
Oh my god.
Winston
Spend
Gibson,
5 beacons on this,
or
bro.
Professor Dave,
That'd be
you
crazy.
subscribe to both and
Wait.
consume both people's
Okay.
content and make up your own mind. I just want to before emotions heat up too much, just say, hey, I appreciate you both being here. I know that it's a weekend night. Can I, if you'll allow me, I'm getting called a coward for not bringing up the edge, apparently, which is, I assume, one of the more controversial opinions. And Austin, I think it's fair for you to say, hey, I showed up and I'm the one that has the answer. I'm the one that has to defend all our positions. But I also think that's a result of the fact that the spherical Earth is the commonly accepted opinion. Sure, I want to be fair, and I'm not doing awesome at it, but I'm trying. So I want to say, if there are specific positions against the sphere or against that you want Dave to answer for, I would want to give you that opportunity. But one thing that is what I found fascinating today was the idea of the ice wall in Antarctica. There's a lot of craziness around that because what I thought, just being unbiased, trying to be unbiased, I guess being honest, that is very hard for me to believe. Because people can literally go to Antarctica. It's like I watched a lot of flat earth videos. I told you guys before. I watched almost 8 hours and I was like, these bastards better show up because I spent my whole Saturday watching flat earth videos. But I was watching the Antarctica thing, which is a common talking point. And people go there all the time. So what is the flat earth position about the rim? Basically, that's what people in chat are asking. What's going on the edges in the flat earth? And then Dave, I'll give you a chance. Is that okay? I'll give you a chance to respond to that. Okay. All right.
First of all, to address the first part, I'm cool with asking questions. That's the natural response because I was so out of love with most people. But that's more like a normal conversation thing, not like he's supposed to be debating. But it's all good. I'm pretty chill.
I can let you guys go at it too.
No, that's cool. I'm gonna answer your question. Okay. this is the typically held position. You cannot freely and privately explore past the 60th south latitude, okay, which is a ring around the outside. So to independently and freely identify and verify what all is out there is not possible. Do people go there? Yes, you can go on group guided tours. Most of the time, there's like just a couple locations. They say it's super dangerous. I have a friend that was this is anecdotal, but a former NASA employee was stationed there for 6 months. He's a flat earther. It's admittedly the highest elevation on Earth. So when people say ice fall, I mean there are videos and pictures of what you would call an ice fall. It's the highest elevation on the Earth.
Highest elevation on Earth.
Highest average elevation. So not like Mount Everest, the highest average elevation. Yeah. So we're saying we don't know what's there, and oftentimes people get this straw man. It's like flat earthers say you can't go to Antarctica, but people go there all the time. No, we're saying you can't freely and privately explore it, right? Like if I let you in my house, but you couldn't go upstairs, you couldn't tell me what was upstairs, right? Like that's
I would know. So are you gonna go with Will Duffy to the South Pole? He's paying for you.
I told him when he first emailed me, before I even knew who he was, that I was open to going at specific parameters, which is that they can't take my words out of context and make a hit piece like they always do, that they have to be forthcoming about all the funding and all the stuff like that. I said I would go. I have no reason.
Hold on, Dave. Can you explain the Will? Because I know about the Will Duffy thing. But
Yeah, I didn't. I was getting these emails and not even knowing who he was, so I didn't reply. But this guy Will Duffy has been emailing flat earthers and people who make flat earth debunking content about paying to bring some people to the South Pole to observe the 24-hour sun.
Just like some extra billionaire guy.
I don't really know anything about him. I don't know how much money he has. I don't think he's a billionaire. I think he has enough money to pay for a couple.
What if life were just more? More rewards,
Oh,
more
pretty.
savings, more special offers.
Dude, terracotta is
That's
so
what
underrated.
Fuel Rewards members get at Shell. Join to save 10 cents per gallon on the first fill, 20 cents per gallon on the second, 30 cents per gallon on the third, and enjoy everyday savings afterwards.
It's like white terracotta.
The more you fill, the more you save. Join today, because life should be more rewarding.
When you live with diabetes, progress is having your coffee like you like it, without an audience. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor tracks your glucose in real time, so everyone else doesn't have to. And over time, it can help lower your A1C. Confident choices, more control of your life. This is progress. Learn more and try for free at freestylelibre.us.
For people to go. I will go. Like,
Yeah,
I'll
I
do
mean,
the South Pole tour.
I have things to do, but I would love for some flat earthers to go and see the 24-hour sun. And most flat earthers are already making excuses. Weiss is saying he doesn't want to go because he's evil, Satan or something. I don't know what he's talking
Austin
about.
said he would go.
Okay, that's great.
And Dave's position was that he doesn't respect people that are dishonest and hide behind anonymity and stuff like that. So, whatever. I said I would go because, dude, I'm not scared of anything. Do you know why I'm flat earther? Yeah. He sent like a mass email, and when I saw it, I responded. I said, dude, look, I'll go. It has to be transparent, honest. People have stolen money. They claim on their videos they're gonna fly us, and then we contact them. They're like, I'm not gonna actually fly you. That's just for my YouTube video. But he still has a GoFundMe up to make fly earthers look bad. So I said, if it's honest, I'll go. I'm not scared of the truth, dude. I'm a flat earther because you can go see mountains from hundreds of miles away consistently. It doesn't add up. The math doesn't add up. So anyway, and I don't know how that's gonna manifest, but as of now, it looks like it could be me and Jaron going with, I guess, David Keegan or something. Well, and when we don't see the 24-hour sun,
What are you going to have to see? So if you go, all right, you right here, right now, you go, you see 24-hour sun, you come back, you make a video. Because, look, I saw some Dave's video. I feel like I've seen and everyone's been wrong. It's not like a big deal. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying, what will it take if you go down there and you see about 24-hour sunlight, you come back and say, all right, cool. I'm cool. It's global. I'm a global guy now. What would it take if you went to the South Pole for you to change your mind?
if I saw a 24-hour sun that does a 360 around me, like the Go predicts, I would readily admit, like that doesn't like the sun should just do a full circle around you and never set, just like it does in the north in the midnight sun. It should do the same thing in the sun.
What does it look like
if
in
that-
Alaska?
It literally does. If you're far enough north, you can just see the sun do a full circle around you, which is what the flat Earth predicts as well. What's up?
If you have any issue with that, I don't know. I've never been.
No, great. I can't wait. I really hope they go, and then when they come back, that's the end of Flat Earth because that will be it.
Well, let me finish what I was saying. Like, it would match the globe. I would step back and be like, whoa, I don't expect it to. So I would admit, yeah, that's weird. It matches the globe. That's not expected on the flat Earth from my understanding. Blah blah blah. I'd openly admit it.
Isn't that what you just did to me about the photograph, or I was thinking of another explanation?
No, no. I didn't even say that yet, but maybe. But a more definitive test actually is to charter a plane, fly far enough south, have multiple mechanical gyros spinning up that maintain rigidity in space. They should tip over as you go, and then it should flip over. So it should tip and flip based on the curvature of the Earth. If say that test and the 24-hour sun was actually manifesting, which I don't have high hopes for, if I found out for sure the Earth's a globe, I would be the first one to come out and admit I was wrong. Because that doesn't prove one thing doesn't prove is that we're flying through space. It doesn't prove any of this other nonsense.
Okay, well, let me ask this. So, I feel like Austin's been on a bit of the hot seat. So let me come at him. Let me pose a question to Dave. I watched a bunch of your videos today. I actually really appreciate. I can definitely tell you're a teacher because all of your PowerPoint slides gave me PTSD back from my college days.
I'm good with slides.
Yeah. I actually, when I was getting my master's degree, I still had a professor that used overhead projectors that he had like written in the 70s.
Old school. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've heard the terminology around flat Earth several times in your videos about grifting, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the grift? Like, what is the? Is it that? Like, what is the grift in saying that there's a flat Earth? Can you kind of describe that? Because I don't see a lot of these flat Earth guys going to give me money. Like,
Well,
so what is
it's
it?
just a little cult, and there's super chats, and they do the conferences and all these things. That's all it is.
So there's
It's not like a huge grift. It's not like Scientology or something, but
okay. We all agree Scientology is a huge grift, right?
I hope we all agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, dude, flat Earth doesn't make you money, bro. I get demonetized all the time. I'm deprioritized. And I had to lose a six-figure job offer because I had flat Earth videos online.
Okay.
It isn't. If you're gonna grip, why would you pick the thing that doesn't make money?
Because you're
Like, it doesn't make
better
any
grift. You could do like you could do. I've been debunking Billy Carson and some of these guys on the Rogan thing. That guy actually makes money lying about archaeology and ancient aliens and stuff like that. That would be a smarter grift.
What?
Okay, look, this is the problem. People are gonna get so triggered that like Dave's not being forced to actually address his improper.
Okay. Well, what is
I'm
it?
just gonna be real.
No, he's right here. He's right. Okay, hold on, Dave. All right. What is it? Articulate the question that Dave has not answered, and then Dave, the floor.
All ears.
Okay, yeah. So like I explained earlier, when we looked at the cosmic microwave background, it actually showed that there was. He called this word out. Anisotropic.
Wait, what is it? I just want. We're not all. Remember, we're not all. So what did you say? The what
It's
microwave?
called the cosmic microwave background (CMB), which is just you send something up high in the air and you read the electromagnetic radiation. There's the visible spectrum of light and there's the non-visible spectrum. It's pulling in all the data from this light that you can't see with your eyes.
If
Right,
you've ever
CMB.
researched flat Earth, you know this image, right? Dave's seen this.
Probably, yeah. Most
It has
people
nothing to do with flat Earth. I mean, this is
Well,
cosmology.
hold on. Yeah, but hold on, Dave. Hold on. Just let him. Yeah. Just let him.
It's about is the Earth moving or not. So in the current model that the Earth is flying around the sun, the universe, whatever, all energy should be evenly distributed. That's called homogeneous, and it should be isotropic, meaning it has no preferred direction. Okay, but what they saw was that it was inhomogeneous and anisotropic, and actually the part that had a preferred direction intersected on the Earth. And they ended up calling it the axis of evil. And then what they saw was that this anisotropic inhomogeneous distribution of energy was actually on a 23.4-degree tilt, which was supposedly the Earth's tilt, but it was observed way beyond our quote-unquote galaxy, which means it could not have been the Earth tilted. So it's a major problem. The CMB matched the geocentric model.
Okay. Awesome.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but I'm cooking up the most expensive floor design ever. 4, 8, 16 anvils plus 4 netherite. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. and drum, and drum, 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 drum. On this bread, and drum, and drum, drum, drum.
So you're talking, okay, so this image, right, the CMB model, right, you're saying, how does this, one thing again, I'm a layman, so I feel like I'm speaking for just regular people who are watching. What about this?
This is like an awkward size of floor pattern because for like giant floor patterns, like I can do stuff like that and go like insane. And for like 5x5 floor patterns, I can make like a quick pattern. But like this is such an awkward area.
Dave talked about when it comes to the sphere heads, you know, so when you talk about how the microwave, whatever, how does this relate to flat Earth? Is what my question.
This is just about if the Earth is geocentric or not. If the universe is geocentric.
Okay,
So
that's a different conversation then, right? Because
it's not. Though.
the planet could be, yes, it is, because the planet could be a sphere but still be geocentric.
It could be. Yes, that's right. The point is that the mainstream model we were all inundated with was that the Earth is a spinning globe. So the alternative is that the Earth is a stationary plane.
Thanks to Purdue Global, I become my literal dream job.
Getting a degree, that's power. And what always happens is if we want to live in the spinning globe, they want to avoid the burden of proof for both of those things, curvature and motion. And if they think they can say what's an eclipse, then somehow they don't have to explain all the evidence that shows the Earth's not a spinning globe. And that is illogical.
Austin, how do you explain eclipses? You brought it up, I didn't bring it up.
So I don't know. That's one up. I mean, let's not jump topics here.
Okay, I'll shut up. You're right, Dave.
Yeah, you can go wherever you want after this. But no, this is what Austin relies on. This is why he's so capable of doing.
But what does this supposedly prove? I'm sorry. So
That the Earth's in the center of the universe.
got it. Okay, Dave.
Okay. So no, it absolutely doesn't. Otherwise, cosmologists would all agree that Earth was at the center of the universe, right? This is all freely available information that you're finding on Wikipedia. If this demonstrated what you're saying it does, that would be the consensus among people who study this for a living. It is not, and that doesn't do what you're saying. You're just saying it does. This is what you do, right? You need to talk about esoteric aspects of modern physics because your viewers don't understand what you're talking about, and they just believe you instead of talking about very simple things like which I want to keep bringing you back to. Why is it that people looking in different directions can all see the Southern Cross at the same time? Very simple, intuitive things. These are what we should be discussing.
Sure. Okay. So hand wave dismissal, appeal to consensus, and appeal to authority.
You're just lying about what it says. So you're just lying about what it says.
You said if it said what I said, all the experts would agree. The consensus is that there is no. The consensus is that there's.
CMB is homogeneous. This is common knowledge.
The consensus is that there's no legitimate explanation that's agreed upon for it, and it was originally rejected and then redone and showed the same unexpected result, and then done again and shown the same unexpected results. That's the actual truth. There isn't a legitimate consensus answer from your paradigm. Doesn't matter. When you want to keep talking about the stars, you said look different directions. Just like when Dave Weiss was talking to you, he tried to tell you magnetic declination's a thing, and you called that jargon and said that that wasn't a real thing. You're just making up words.
I didn't say he made it up. I just said he's saying magnetism for no reason because it has nothing to do with what I was talking about. How is magnetic declination going to allow you to see the same thing by looking in different directions? Explain. You go ahead. Go ahead and answer what he said.
We're going to see that you didn't follow him then either, and that is that you're talking about directions. You're invoking cardinal directions. How you determine your directions. So if you're going to use a compass, according to your paradigm, when you get to the south, the magnetic declination gets way worse.
Why do I need a compass? Can I use geographical phenomena? Can I point in a particular geographical direction by known landmarks? Don't we know?
Well, how do you know the exact? First of all, when you're looking at the stars all the way to the Southern Cross, what known landmarks are you going to use?
Anything on the tips of those continents.
Wait.
What are you talking about? You're standing at the tip of the southern continent. Look, I'll give you, let's say you're off by a degree or two. Okay, fine. We're looking a little bit this way, a little bit that way. On the graphic that I showed you, they're looking in completely different directions, all seeing Southern Cross at the same time. It doesn't make sense. You can't.
First of all, it's not a degree or two, Dave. It is dozens and dozens of degrees. If you go far enough south, it is actually 179 degrees at one point, meaning
How far south? Very near the magnetic pole?
yeah, in your paradigm, which your magnetic pole's in the ocean. But the point is dude, if you're gonna say I'm looking south for sure, you're relying on magnetic declination corrections. Okay, but that's the point Dave was making. You hand wave dismissed it. It's just
I can go outside of my house and look north without looking at a compass because I know which way north is on a map. Do you use a compass every day to orient yourself? Or do you just know which way the cardinal directions are?
Yeah, but in the north we have a Polaris to go off of, right?
No.
Have like
On a map, on a street, walking around the street,
I
you've
know,
got a grid of streets, you know which way is north. You need a compass to do that?
well, actually, if you use the compass, it will show you different directions over time. I'm asking you, how do you verify the south?
Use
How do you
geography.
dude, how did you verify the exact direction of different geographical input? Okay, but let's just anyway. You don't understand that point, apparently, but it doesn't matter. Even
Or
if
you're just desperately living.
no, dude, you said that it wasn't a real thing, and now
I
you
didn't
think
say it
it's
wasn't a
1
real
degree or
thing.
2
I
degrees.
said you're just bringing up
No.
magnetism for no reason because you think that's going to save you.
It's
almost verbatim what I thought.
how else? You're saying the only other way to verify it is to look at geography. Okay,
You're pretending
anyways.
that if I'm looking at what I know is south on a map, that I could somehow be pointing basically north or near north. Is that really how much of a distortion you think is physically possible when you're just using a map to look south?
You don't just use. Okay, I'm trying to explain to you that in your paradigm, in the south, the magnetic declination gets crazy. In theory, could that be true? Sure.
Where does it get crazy? How close to the magnetic pole do you have to get in order for it to get crazy? How close?
Wherever you're viewing the Southern Cross from is far enough south that the magnetic declination is a significant factor.
Isn't though? Because it's
Yes.
not really that close to the magnetic pole.
No, but it can still be 40, 50 degrees magnetic declination in your paradigm.
No,
Yes, you can go to magnetic-declination.com and look it up. The other thing is there's something called an azimuthal grid. So we actually see the world in a little azimuth grid. That's how we measure it, right? That's how we measure the stars. We take our zenith, then we take elevation measurements down to our azimuth. So it gives you a little dome. Now, when you actually run this through a software, you will see that if you had a bunch of stars circling over top of you, and you had this little limit of vision that was a dome, you'll actually see the stars appear to converge at a point where they're actually not converging and circle around that point. We have replicated it, so we actually expect it. The problem is we need to verify the exact wrong direction to even put that input into the software to know for sure, to give you a flat Earth model you all beg for, and it is impossible to 100% verify the wrong directions that far south. So
Hold on. All right. Okay, you have no such model. You have no such thing, or you would have shown it. You would have all been celebrating it in all your videos.
we've shown it. We have shown it.
Well, bring it up. I'm gonna let you bring it up, Austin. I want to say this. Go ahead, take a minute, bring it up. I want to be respectful of everyone's time, so I wanted to keep this to, maybe in 30. Are you guys okay with 30 more minutes? Is that okay? Or
Yeah.
20, 30?
20, yeah.
Okay. So are you guys okay with? I want to just pull the pin on a grenade, chuck it in, and back out, and let you guys go at it because I'm getting yelled at for interrupting too much. But also, would you guys be okay with the last 10 minutes of the show? We looked at some viewer questions. Is that okay? So can we do 20? Are you guys okay with 25 more minutes or no?
Yeah, I am. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I just
Wait. You good with 25 more minutes?
Yeah.
Awesome. Dave? Okay. So I want to let everyone know, hey, again, I'm getting a lot of shit for being, maybe interrupting too much, but I just want to let people, I try to pick my spots, but what matters most is that these two gentlemen spent Saturday evening with me. 3 dudes on a date on Saturday night. we obviously could have been out there slaying posts like incredible chavs like we are. But make sure you check out their channels in the description below. You know, Wits It Gets It has obviously a wide variety of content available, as well as Professor Dave. Please support their channels, and please, you know, independently, if they have Patreons or whatever, support them directly. I have, obviously, everyone's pissed that I haven't brought up the ice wall, the edge, or the dome. That's the last thing I want to end on. But I did want to ask you about this video. I'm a big SpaceX guy. I'm a big, you know, I'm a big space guy. We're on SpaceX.
Sorry, bro.
Starlink. I know. Sorry. I know.
It's a lot of it's fake, brother. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what people say. So when we watch this, I won't watch it, but right. So this is the space jump, right? We can obviously see the Earth is digitally or not curved, right? This guy, you know, jumps out. This is when I think flat Earth. I've watched this video like in real time because I'm a space dork.
Your hair deserves better shampoo and conditioner. It's made with hydrating ingredients and green flags. Love this for you in Moroccan oil. A volume dream team.
You know, keep that in mind when we discuss. Not that my opinion matters. It's really the viewers' opinions that matter, and then I'll ask them in 5 minutes. So I want to bring up the conversation. Actually, you know what? Is there something that either one of you, Dave or Austin, that you really want to, like, I fucked up and I didn't talk about it? Because you know, you've already given a bunch of your time. Should we not talk about the ice wall and the edge of the dome?
Well, I think I already addressed that. We can't really partly explore there. It's the highest elevation in the world.
Oh yeah, that's what we should talk about.
You can all go to
You can't fall off the edge of a lake or a pond. We don't know what's beyond it. Could there be more land? Sure. Could there be something containing it that touches down? Sure. We literally can't freely and privately explore it, so we don't know. It's kind of like saying, do you fall off the edge of a lake, though? Like, no, I know it would serve as the shore.
Make sure you go to the South Pole with Will. Make sure you get over there.
I'm in. So
Can we address the Felix thing, though, since you brought it up?
Go ahead.
Okay, so
He's
yeah,
talking about the diver, right? The Felix.
Yeah. So it looks like the Earth is a ball, honestly, an extremely small ball.
He's in low Earth orbit here. He's not.
No, he's not. He's 180,000 feet up, so that's actually very low. And this was sponsored. This is sponsored by GoPro. So this is a GoPro fisheye lens. If you look at the video, the angle from inside the cockpit, or whatever you want to call it, you can actually see the horizon's flat. So Neil deGrasse Tyson himself came out and addressed this idea that, like, people think that Felix was so high that he could see the curvature of the Earth.
That's from the cockpit. That's from the flat.
No, that's not. That's from outside, still using the GoPro. You can prove
admit that that is exaggerated curvature.
Yeah.
The curvature is still there.
Yeah, it's in a square.
Well, you'd say that, okay, but according to even Neil deGrasse Tyson, you would never see the curvature of the Earth from that height because you'd only be 2 millimeters above a typical blown up beach ball or whatever. But
what about that?
The point that's important here is I've heard Dave say, and I don't watch Dave, so I'll be honest with you, bro, but like I listened to a few minutes of it earlier. I heard you say something.
You should watch your debunkers, dude. That's almost.
No, I've watched some of his older stuff. Okay, it's all the same stuff, bro. But anyway, so this is the problem. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with all strawmans. Well, look, this is what I want to point out. Dave said that this guy was in his balloon and it maintained the momentum due to the conservation of momentum with the spin of the Earth. So when he fell out, he maintained the momentum.
Well, he accelerated though. When you watch this, he did not. I mean, he did not maintain his position, right?
Yeah, but if you're spinning underneath him, why would he fall in the opposite direction?
The atmosphere. What's going on while he's falling? Is there no interaction with the atmosphere? Is there absolutely no change in what's going on?
Well, there's not much atmos up that high. You could say once he got down, he started drifting. If that's what you want to claim. I mean, I actually looked at the weather data. It seemed like there wasn't much wind. I'm pointing out that your claim that he was just following the Earth is patently false. He fell like 40 miles in the wrong direction.
Okay, well,
and that is the curvature of Earth.
Straight up and straight down.
Okay, it wouldn't obliterate my position. We can both agree now it has something to do with wind, and your claim that he was just following with the earth is ridiculous and stupid. It's like not true.
That's obscene. But I think much more importantly,
That was your claim.
what you absolutely can't explain is why that guy fell down.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh, the
because
gravity conversation.
Electric gravity. Let's do electric gravity. Let's talk about it. Let's.
Yeah, because he has weight when he's more dense in the air, and he went
What
down.
is weight?
It is mass times gravity. Mass is volume times density times downward acceleration. Gravity is little g, which is just downward acceleration, 9.8 meters per second squared, which you falsely claim that we can't derive, but you can do that with a kinematic equation, strictly a kinematic equation.
Get me 9.1 meters per second squared without using the mass of the Earth.
Literally, you can do it with a kinematic equation. It's also been done with initial height, velocity, and time will give you the same exact 9.8 meter second value. That's just the effect. Did you know that 9.8 meters per second squared is just the effect? It isn't even like the claimed cause.
I mean, the claim it's a value. It's an acceleration due to the mass of the Earth. That's why G changes with radius, with elevation on different celestial bodies. That's why G is different on the moon, it's different on Mars. I think that's all fake, of course. But so
That'll be
very,
cheaper.
very simply, you cannot explain why things fall down. You just can't do it.
I can. Everything. It's more dense than the air, and so the question would be, why is there up?
Why does it go down?
Why is it down? That's your question.
Less dense too. The air above it is less dense. Should fall up.
Why is it? What?
The air above it
is more dense than the air. It doesn't matter if the air above you is less dense than the air below.
Why does it go down? This air is less dense. In fact, this air is even less dense than this air. Why does it go up?
Okay, why would that mean it goes down?
Why would that mean? Because the mass of the Earth is the thing's fault. The reason
dude. Helium. Why does helium rise?
Because it's less dense than air.
There you go. It's less dense than the other air.
But he pulls the air down more than the helium.
That's what you think.
The all goes up in the air, in the water.
You're just reifying your belief, and this is what's even funnier.
How is it reification? I'm not doing anything abstract and turning it.
Yeah, because you have a concept. You have a concept of gravity in your mind, and you're attributing concreteness to it and just assuming it's true by treating the concept as if it's actual.
Because I know that it's exclusively an effect based on mass and not electromagnetism, as you pretend. You absolutely cannot use electromagnetism to explain anything that gravity explains.
I've never said electromagnetism. There's a downward electric current on the Earth. This is actually another falsification of the globe. We have a uniform.
Magnetism are not part of the same thing. What do you mean, not electromagnetism?
We have a vertical electric field on the Earth, and it has a 100 volt per meter increase. It's exponential increase. It's a vertical electric field. It's a vertical electric field, and it's uniform. And so we have 100 volts per meter. Now that's impossible. That's impossible.
It's not.
Does it increase 100 volts per meter?
No, it dissipates with elevation, which is why Felix can't be falling down due to electromagnetism.
Does it increase 100 volts per meter?
For like 100 meters. And
no.
No.
Your model claims it's like 50 miles.
Okay, look. Even if whatever you want to say about that, why doesn't anything fall up, Austin? Why doesn't anything fall up? Electromagnetism is both attractive and repulsive, right? So some things are attracted to the Earth. Why isn't anything repelled from the Earth? Why doesn't it fall up to the other Gaussian surface or whatever you want to talk about? Why isn't it fall up?
So first of all, radial distribution of a sphere would not allow you to have equipotential parallel surfaces that are 100 volts per meter.
Why does it?
No, I'm not finishing my point. Then I'm just letting the audience hear the conclusion of the point. So that's the conclusion of the point that they previously avoided, which is that radial distribution of the sphere could not replicate what we have here. But you said, why don't things go up? You mentioned my middle school experiment, or whatever you called it, right, where I actually made something lift, and I did it with iron filings. I did it with multiple different materials, even insulators. So you said that doesn't count, and I can't make big objects.
Yeah,
I can't make big objects. Okay. Are you crashing again before 2 p.m.?
Oh, we can do a quick 5x5 floor pattern there.
Cut through brain fog and power your workouts. Reclaim your energy in a healthy way. No sugar, no jitters, no crashes. So ditch those disgusting energy. Choose the healthy option.
Then we can do so we can do 5x5 floor patterns. We just need to create a good divisor here. Then we're good. And oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just kicked my
Oh, I'm the worst. That propelled me towards excellence and secure $140,000 in college scholarships. Acellus Academy was the right option for my son. It allowed him to succeed and develop a passion for learning. Through the parent interface, I was able to see his progression firsthand. Acellus Academy accelerated my learning experience because I was able to grow at my own pace. The courses are professionally filmed and really bring the content to life. And Science Live with Roger Billings, which really inspired me to apply myself to aesthetics. As a father, I highly recommend Acellus Academy to any parent who wants to see the look of success in their child's eyes. Enroll now at AcellusAcademy.com to reserve your seat for fall.
Hey, did you know that physics scales, the bigger an object is, the more charged particles there are in it, right? So the effect should be greater. Why can't you do it with a rock or a person? Have we seen anything fall up ever?
Because you would have to increase the amount of, say, electrostatics you introduce proportionate to its weight, which is what you in mass, which is volume times density relative to the pressure mediation of that atlas. Wait, my question is, what did I say that was words out?
All of it. You're just saying
All
words.
of it.
I'm asking you why things don't fall up.
In
Look, in a field, particles of opposite charges are accelerated in opposite directions, right? So why can't you make anything fall up? Why doesn't anything on the Earth fall up? It's a very simple question.
I'm trying to
I heard
explain it.
a lot of people fail. I'm just saying, fail.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it's really a simple concept. So when you have something that has weight, that's volume times density. Okay, that's mass, and then volume times density times acceleration. Little g is just downward acceleration, just an effect. So whenever that's the case, that
What is
pressure
little g?
mediates.
Acceleration due to gravity.
That's what you guys believe. That's what he thinks. Okay. Little g is just the effect. It isn't exclusive to any belief. Okay. Well, everyone keeps invoking little g as if it's proof of, I guess, the bending and warping of space and time or whatever.
You don't have to go with electricity.
No, you can't go that route. Trust me, we know.
No, you can't. Relativity is one of the most corroborated theories in the history of science, but it doesn't matter.
No, it's not.
You can just use Newton. Well, it is.
It was falsified in 1933. Fritz Zwicky is off by 99%.
Definitely, it was never.
Let me ask this question, dude. This is a simple question. You said that my experiment doesn't do anything. In reality, what I did was manipulate the electric field, and then it caused the objects to go up, even though that they were heavier than the air.
It was apply an enormous electric field to overwhelm the effects of gravity. You took a different force, electromagnetism, to overwhelm gravity for a teeny tiny little object. Once again, what I just said, a very massive object, a lot of matter, has more charged particles. In my body, there are many, many more charged particles than a tiny piece of styrofoam. What about effect be greater? Can't we accelerate up? Can't we levitate? Can't we fly? Why not?
I just have a simple question. You won't let me get it out because you know you're
I just answered it.
Ask a question.
Ask a question.
Okay, I've tried like 3 times. It's simple. You're saying that doesn't count because I can't do it with bigger objects.
Yeah.
Do you know that physics scales?
Yeah, so a larger object, more charged particles, the effect should be greater. Why doesn't
So
anything
you agree though that if I do the same principle on a bigger scale, if I increase the force proportionate to the object, I would be able to make things go up. And your claim that you can't do it with bigger objects is completely ridiculous, non sequitur.
countering gravity? You would be countering gravity. I'm talking
Reifine
about
gravity again.
stop saying reification. Do you have any idea how dumb you sound when you say reification? Come on now. Okay,
You're begging the question over and over, dude. You're just saying,
Listen, you can only do this with the Van der Graaf generator because you are applying an external field to overwhelm gravity. You're saying that out there in the world, it's all electrostatic, so we shouldn't need a Van der Graaf generator. Out there in the world, where this is an electromagnetic effect, and we know that electromagnetism is both attractive and repulsive, out there in the world, why doesn't anything fall up ever?
okay, first of all, depending on the environment, say like your hair will stick up during thunderstorms. Bumblebees literally do something called non-contact pond detachment. They fly over top of the flowers, and the pond levitates. Literally, there is naturally occurring phenomena that's based on the electric field of the Earth. You're saying we're adding an external force? No, we're manipulating the force that's already there. Let me finish. We're manipulating the force that's already there. I didn't add anything. Everything that exists is electrostatic, right? Which on the small scale is 10 to 36 power stronger than your belief in gravity. And all molecular and intermolecular attractive forces are electrostatic. That means all objects that exist are held together by that. So you're acting like I'm adding something that wasn't there. No, I'm just manipulating what was there. Now you do the same thing with your belief in gravity. Isolate gravity and prove it's true.
Yeah, things only fall down. That is it. Well, I'm asking why things don't fall up. All you're doing is citing, oh, a bumblebee does something. These are all teeny tiny objects where electrostatics can overwhelm the effect of gravity. Why doesn't a rock fall up, or a person, or a car, or anything ever?
Let me ask this.
Because the pressure mediated by the density relationship and the weight makes it go down. It's very simple.
Okay. I feel like you
Those
both.
sure were words.
Okay, so
Dude, that's a pretty bad look.
well, hold
Yes,
on.
it is a bad look for you.
All right, hold on, gentlemen. What I want to say is that you both have been extremely well behaved and entertaining, and I want to let the viewers, of which there are many thousands, get in it for a few minutes. But do I dare bring up Cavendish? Do I dare bring up, because that is a point of contention, right? Of that matter attracts matter, right? That disproves gravity, right? Like I'm a very large fat man, very attractive young, but not young. Why did I say young? That's creepy. Very attractive thin women are often attracted to me. But let's actually not go down that. Let's not go down that road. It's probably too complicated. I want to let
Yeah, because everything's electrostatic. It's way stronger than gravity's tend to be.
They shield for
If you
electrostatics.
have a lot of questions like that, it's like, we can have a conversation in the future, man, whether it's
yeah.
or not.
It's maybe down the rabbit hole too far.
I just want to, this is the only thing that I really want to know, Dave, before we move on, bro. Like,
Alright, go ahead.
you said you didn't think the numbers were correct, whatever, you dismissed it. Then you said maybe there's some type of atmospheric effect. Do you agree, though, that refraction is the bending of light, which means that a silhouette can't be refracted because it is the absence of light?
What?
Can a silhouette be refracted?
If you're seeing something, there's light traveling to your eyes. So
Sure, but
there's
the
gonna be
mountains,
refraction.
the mountain should be below the curve of the earth, right? But we're seeing the silhouette once it gets backlit, which means you need a line of sight to the physical object blocking the light.
I don't know, man.
So we've lost
you're doing, I saw a thing, therefore everything we know about physics and science in general is wrong. It's just not going to fly.
Dave
Okay.
concedes defeat. You heard it here first.
Okay,
He agreed that the Earth is flat. Everybody knows now. Dave concedes.
It's so easy to go against flat earthers, just dismiss all the uncomfortable evidence and ask about
It's not
things.
uncomfortable evidence. You just make up bullshit.
Like just ask about random things that we were taught when we were 5. Like, well, then how does this work? And like, whatever. I mean,
I
it's
ask very simple things like why does the night sky rotate in opposite directions in opposite hemispheres? You have yet to answer that. You have yet
answered it
to
directly.
Okay, go ahead.
You said if you look a different
I
way,
did.
it'll rotate a different way. This is
No,
just
I said first of all, you have to verify coronal direction, which when we go to the south, we actually use emits magnetic declination corrections, which could be skewing where you think you're viewing. That's just a
celestial pole.
just a fact.
Looking at the celestial pole with your eye.
Let him finish.
just a fact. And
He's
then,
galloping. It's just word salad. He's just saying words to deflect.
dude, stop using the term word salad. You don't know what it means.
It means you're just saying words that aren't saying anything, which is what you're doing. That's what it means, and that's what you do. Right?
But you can never give specific examples of when I did it.
Just now, what you just did. I'm asking.
I said
looking at
that
the
magnetic declination
What does that have
in
to do?
the south. What?
What does it have to do with what I'm asking you?
You have to determine your cardinal direction. And then the second part is
No, you don't.
magnetic declination corrections are immense in the south.
You're confused
That
about
makes
what
it
I'm
very
asking you.
difficult
This
to
isn't
verify
the
cardinal direction.
thing. I'm
Ooh,
asking
oh,
about
let's hit that
rotating
3D. I was like,
clock
ooh.
counterclockwise versus clockwise. You have yet to answer that.
He's going
Okay, you need to determine.
Just so the viewers know. Hold on. You guys are both being really great, by the way. Like being very respectful.
I just
appreciate
downloaded.
that. Dave, I believe, is going back to his
Okay,
literal.
The first thing I
The very first thing he said. Yeah, the globe.
This is all recorded.
That's for a
I tried
friend's
to answer it
project.
the first time he asked it.
No,
He tried it 7 times.
You said that by looking a different direction, it'll magically spin the other way. That's not how things work. If you're
I
gonna
said
go feeling,
specifically.
you're gonna go clockwise no matter which way you face. Sorry,
I
buddy.
said that we see. This does require usually some visualizations to understand it. We see in a little dome. It's called an azimuthal grid. You can go to Stellarium. That's how we map the stars. We have a zenith position, an azimuth position, and we measure elevation angles. When you do that 360, it gives you a dome. That's how we view the sky. NASA themselves have articles talking about how we see the sky to be a dome. We have an equidistant limit of vision. It's like a little dome. If you were to replicate that with a bunch of spinning stars and you moved out towards the edge of this dome, it's going to make them look like they're converging and spinning around the central point, even though they're literally not doing that. We have replicated it. Therefore, we would expect to see it just like crepuscular and anti-crepuscular rays when the sun's setting in the west. It'll look like it's in the east at the same time, and the rays will converge to a point, even though it's just based on perspective. That isn't objectively a viable answer for the star
It's
trails.
not a viable answer. You're just saying words like crepuscular and perspective to appease flat earthers who have no idea what you're talking about, because you cannot answer how things rotate counterclockwise in one hemisphere and clockwise in the other.
You know what anti-crepuscular rays
I
are?
have a tiny warped edge.
This model.
Wait a
You
minute.
know what anti-crepuscular rays are?
Well, what? Tell me what they are. Go ahead.
So you called it word salad, but it's just that you don't understand the terms.
It doesn't
Okay,
matter,
so-
but you're just taking it's a jumble of words. It's not that each word doesn't mean something. It's not just literal gibberish and syllables. You're taking words that are words and putting them together to make a salad, like your lettuce and your croutons and your things like that. That's why I tell you of yum yum word salad. You cannot explain what is can you concede that this makes perfect sense visually, intuitively, just spatially? Can you at least concede that this makes more sense than what you're saying?
No. I mean, I will say that if it is exactly south, yeah, of course, that's what the globe predicts. But we
You're
made the
admitting,
globe
so
model.
you're admitting that the globe Earth explanation for the way we see stars moving in the sky makes more sense
No,
than everything you just said using random buzzwords that you.
no, I didn't say that. But this is the point I want to make here too. Look, Dave had to deny that the default position is that the Earth's a stationary plane.
It's not the
That is a fact. That is literally a fact. So
That's just the thing you say.
wait. Whenever we fly a plane, do we treat the Earth like it's flat?
It doesn't matter. We're just flying.
Oh.
We're not talking about the shape of the
Okay,
Earth.
hold on.
You're just
Hold
trying. If
So it's a default.
If that's true, hold on, Allison. If that's true, as the debunkers point out, when you fly in the southern hemisphere, or why do planes take direct routes as opposed to following the flat Earth map? Because it takes the same time to fly from Australia. I think that what is the example you used, Dave?
Sydney to Santiago over the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this one because we didn't get to it.
It's always obfuscation away from the point that the actual physical flying of the plane requires a flat
getting
stationary.
anywhere. So he asked the question. I'm going with him.
I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny.
All right.
Okay, but yeah, I know all the debunks. They're not debunks. Are going to be sitting in this chair right now.
They are. You can't explain that.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and explain it. So if you say you fly from Sydney to Santiago, one direction actually takes significantly longer than the other return flight.
How much?
It objectively does.
Headwinds back way. It's like 30 minutes.
Oh wait, shit! I'm gonna be building this in survival. I can't do that.
Okay, that's a fact. Yeah, everyone can verify everything I'm saying, and you can go to 24-hour flight radar and look at the data. You can go to 24-hour flight radar, look at the data. What you'll see is it says the plane's going, say, 550 miles per hour, right? On the globe, obviously, you just have a similar distance both ways. But if the time is different, they're obviously not going the same speed. So what that proves, right, because speed equals distance over time. So what that proves is that the data we're being given about how fast that plane goes is wrong. You can Google plane goes 800 miles per hour, and there will be articles talking about planes catching jet streams.
You're gonna need.
Wait. Okay, but planes can't. No, you don't. It's ridiculous. You guys
That
see it.
distance is like triple or quadruple the distance. That makes sense for the amount of time it takes. So are you
No.
going to pretend that there's some that crazy wind or personal tornado that makes it fly quadruple the speed to get it over there? And also, why doesn't it go the route that makes sense on the flat Earth? Why does it go that route?
First, if you assume the Earth's a globe with a projection, that doesn't prove the Earth's a globe, and it doesn't. So you're asking me, are the pilots in on it? No, the pilots aren't in on it. I know tons of flat Earth pilots. They got the Earth as a globe most of their
pilots. I'm
I'm stoked about Roku in 2025. They just started focusing on the self-service ads manager. It used to be a managed service, or you have to go through one of the large agencies. So I'm very excited for this.
Lately, I've been making my own oat milk lattes. Makes me feel kind of fancy.
Well,
see, this is what I'm saying. You have to lie about stuff like that.
You're
Dude.
the one
It's
lying.
so
You're flat Earth pilots. Ask any pilot if the Earth is flat. They'll laugh in your face.
I know.
They all take
multiple.
great circle routes. They take great circle routes that are
Can a circle exist on a flat Earth?
My wife is a
No, a great circle.
If you want to talk to me, my wife's a pilot.
Yeah, MG thing. Bring her in.
Dude, I just had I have an Air Force pilot that reached out to me of 30 years.
Yeah.
Cool. That's true. Totally.
I don't want to
See, I was saying you have to deny basic reality.
Why is it so crazy to think that you could be making that up on the spot?
Well, what I'm saying, how?
Hold on a second. Either I let these guys go at it for 10 more minutes, or we answer viewer questions.
I feel like we've gone good time.
I feel like we're there, right? Yeah, we're there. So I want to pick a few of these. I'll stick around live for a few minutes after I let these guys go. I want to just like give a digital. I mean, I don't care what side you're on. Thank you both for being here and for being so passionate and being so engaged, and being just great.
Actually, I do have Bedrock, but if I misplace it, I just
obviously
get fucked.
people are gonna think, whatever they want to think. But I hope people are entertained. There are many, many not many, many tens of thousands, but there's over 15,000 people watching. So a lot of people are entertained on Saturday night. They could have been watching some garbage. So this is obviously much better. I will read them all after I let these gentlemen get out their Saturday nights. But I wanted to pick some that I found.
Can we do like a 6-second closing or something at some point?
Absolutely. I'll do a 2-minute, and then because you guys should be point clip for goes last. It's like a criminal trial, right? So generally the prosecution goes last. But I'll just say, okay. Well, then we'll let Dave go first. Someone says, make Dave define one thing in detail that Austin has said is word salad. Well, he did that. I think he did do that.
It's not that he's using words that aren't real. It's that he's stringing together words in a way that isn't saying anything.
Give an example.
Scientific terminology. I can't remember if he didn't say anything, so those really stick. Yeah. Right?
The definition of word salad is incoherent rambling, typically associated with schizophrenia. So if I was saying, yo, chicken, yesterday, sunset, whatever, dude. The fact you didn't understand the terms like anticorpuscular rays and anisotropic and magnetic declination doesn't make it word salad. You need to go inform yourself what the words mean.
I'm saying that those words don't pertain to any kind of explanation for what I was talking about. Magnetic declination isn't going to explain away looking at an object in the sky, seeing that it rotates a particular direction, going to the other hemisphere and seeing that it rotates in the other direction.
Now you're trying to rebut my argument. You're trying to rebut my argument, but that doesn't string together with that. Don't just dismiss the argument as word salad. It's basically vocalizing inept vocabulary skills and bragging about it. It's super weird.
It's pointing out that you use a bunch of terminology rapid fire to make it sound like you know what you're talking about to trick people into thinking that you know what you're talking about.
Somebody said this. I have a challenge for both Dave and Austin. Using your preferred method, model the Earth universe derived to the 9.8 meters per second. It's indisputable that falling objects accelerate towards the ground at that acceleration. Gravity is true. I'm a physics guy, so I think I don't want to every question somebody asks. I don't want to devolve into a 20-minute. But I think Dave would say gravity, and Witsit would say density, right? But then not even meters per second is consistent. It doesn't matter if the bowling ball.
It's derived from Newton's law of universal gravitation, and you need the mass of the Earth in there. If gravity was electromagnetism, the mass of the Earth wouldn't be a factor.
Okay, well, you can get it from electrostatics. If you look at Gauss's law, it's a very similar relationship. But what's funny is it actually doesn't always fall at 9.8 meters per second squared. That is an agreed upon average. It's close to that. It's close to that. No, in a vacuum it changes. There's something called gravimeter measurements, which is a vacuum sealed chamber with interferometry measuring a BB fall, and it'll fluctuate above 9.81.
Right now it's decimal points, but the point is that it fluctuates at specific times when the electric field changes, even inside of a vacuum sealed chamber. So yeah, to claim it doesn't have anything to do with electric field is insane. Prove that it's space-time bending and warping, or we're winning because we can physically prove it's electric. So until you can prove another claim, you don't have the upper edge at all. It's actually the other way around.
You cannot do anything with electromagnetism to demonstrate this. You cannot take objects of differing properties, paramagnetic, diamagnetic, paramagnetic. Why does it not matter at all what the composition of an object is? It all falls 9.81 meters per second squared, not as the average, right? I know it varies depending on altitude and radius of the Earth where you are locally, but you cannot demonstrate any discrepancy. Take any object, a bar magnet, a iron, ferromagnetic iron, anything. Show me that it does anything different than what anything else does that's neutral. Wouldn't it interact with the field in a different way?
Actually, it's a drop tower test that was done in Europe at, I believe, a university, and they showed different elements falling at different rates. And so this is the truth, though, that the electric field that creates a downward electric current of 10 microamps per meter, so it's very small, and it's very nearly constant. So we don't expect the downward pressure to change much. That's a real verifiable part of physics. I can go out and measure it and manipulate it and make things flow. Can you prove that space-time is bending and warping?
No,
of course not.
You
can just assume.
No, you absolutely can't. Relativity is very well corroborated, but you have absolutely zero ability, right? Opposite charges accelerate in opposite directions. In an
More rewards, more savings, more special offers. That's what new Fuel Rewards members get at Shell. Join to save 10 cents per gallon on your first fill, 20 cents per gallon on the second, and 30 cents per gallon on the third. Join today.
Oh, hello there. I have a confession to make. I've been cheating on my board games. This is Royal Kingdom, the latest puzzle game that's just come out, and I can't get enough of it. Oh, you won't believe this, but this game has no ads. Yep, you heard it right. No more pop-ups. Plus, the graphics are so good, I sometimes forget I'm not actually royalty. Or am I? Oh, can you believe it's also free? I mean, there are no ads, and it's free. How do they do it? And guess what? You don't even need Wi-Fi to play. Yeah, picture this. You're on a flight, and they announce that the in-flight Wi-Fi is down. Panic starts to set in. No Wi-Fi for 6 hours? Ah! Then, I remember Royal Kingdom. It saved my life. 6 hours flew by, and I actually enjoyed the flight.
field, right? So why, again, does nothing fall up?
Okay, because when the object is more dense, density is the compactness of matter. So what holds the matter together? It's electrostatic charges that gives it a compactness. Literally, all molecular and intermolecular attractive forces are electrostatic in nature. And if you call that word salad, that's insane because that's just a direct quote.
No, it is word salad because you're not answering the question. You're
it's a direct quote from Purdue University, dude.
Purdue? What?
I just quoted Purdue verbatim. So this is what problem with listening to people like this guy. They're just going to dismiss this word salad. You can't have an intellectually honest conversation.
You're just it's just random. It's just random words. You just said density. I'm asking why nothing falls up, and you answered density. Air is less dense here. Air is less dense here. In fact, this air is less dense than this air because it becomes less dense elevation. Why does it fall down? Why does
it's still less dense in the object in all scenarios, Dave? Do you not know that? Even in a vacuum, it's still more dense than the environment or the medium, right? It doesn't matter if it's a little bit less dense, the object's still more dense.
Because the mass of the Earth is below it. So why doesn't anything accelerate upwards? Why doesn't anything fly to the other Gaussian surface? Why isn't anything repelled by the Earth?
Because there's a downward electric current.
Electromagnetism.
There's a downward electric
flip the current. What about a lightning strike?
Because you can't manipulate the entire Earth.
When the lightning strikes, does something there suddenly fly up to the cloud? There's a reversal polarity there. Why that can't get anything to fall up?
Okay, you cannot flip the entire electric field of the Earth. Now, according to the analogous to
right there, right under the lightning bolt, something can fly up. No?
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I know that it's late. I'm going to give you both. First of all, a huge round of applause. Please, everyone in chat who's currently, the chat is just as hinged as I thought it would be.
Hinged or unhinged?
I mean, I'm unhinged. Unhinged. But, I really, really appreciate both of you being on. This is incredible, super entertaining. Everyone in chat, I don't care who you agree with or disagree with. Please check out these individuals. particular YouTube channel that I assume both of them will use as footage and make more content. Watch that. And I want to give you guys both
Over,
3 minutes
under,
to go out on.
over,
I need like
under.
30 seconds. I don't need it.
Okay, all right, 2 minutes to go out on.
Over,
Go
under,
on up.
over,
Since
under,
I think
over,
Dave, you went first,
under,
leading in. We'll let
over.
Boston go first, leading out. But I want you both guys to know I'll have you back on any time you want. This was a blast for me. Like I know that the chat, I know they enjoyed it. Obviously, both of you hope to educate people, but for me, I'm a loser entertainer, and I know everyone was entertained. So if everyone had a good time, please support whoever side you want. And I will read everybody's chats after I let these guys open up because they've got more important shit to do. So Austin, I will give you the floor. I will shut off my camera, give you 2 uninterrupted minutes, plug whatever you want, let people know where to find you, watch your content, and then we'll go to Dave, and then I will stay on and respond to all the other stuff. If that's okay with you guys. Does that sound okay?
Yep, sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
Actually time it. So, the default position is that the Earth's a stationary planet. It's what we all experience. Could, in theory, the Earth be a spinning globe? Sure. Whenever you point at the sky and say, look, it matches the globe, it's very ignorant because we made the globe model from the sky. We took observations and reverse engineered the way that we see the sky and assumed the Earth's a sphere. Of course it matches. That's how we made it. And it didn't match for hundreds of years. It had to constantly be updated, still being updated. Relativity is the most verified theory ever. Isn't true at all. 1933, Fritz Zwicky saw the galaxy cluster only had 1% of the mass it needed to actually keep the galaxies from escaping. That means it was missing 99% mass. That's called dark matter. It was originally called missing mass. It's still a major problem. Relativity can even predict things on the quantum, local, or cosmological scale. It's been falsified with things such as anisotropic light propagation, meaning light's actually variant, it changes, etc. So a lot of these things are a bit more complex. I encourage people to go actually look at my channel or Ether Cosmology and listen to us break down Einstein's papers. You can hear him say it. Look at the tests that falsify this stuff. But this is the part that's very important. Falsifications independent of replacement. We were all told that the Earth is a spinning globe. It's very easy to mock and ridicule people that are much more informed and diligently researched and actually go out and do tests in real life than actually look into it for yourself. I get it. But just calling them names, appealing to consensus, whatever, doesn't matter. This is a crazy conversation. And actually what we have proven for step 1 is that the Earth is stationary. And that's been done with interferometry. And so even Einstein admitted that if the interferometry measurements were correct, that his entire theory is wrong and the Earth is stationary, effectively being the implication. We have verified that the interferometry changes with altitude, periodicity, etc. Long story short, it has been proven that the Earth is stationary. It is therefore the center of the universe. All observations ever showed that. The globe claims everything is actually an illusion. It just looks like the Earth's in the center. It looks like the Earth is flat, but it's really not. Everything is just an illusion. So I encourage you to inform yourself about it because,
no sugar, no jitters, no crashes. So ditch those disgusting energy drinks. Choose the healthy option. Feed your mind and body Ketone IQ, high performance energy. Check it out at ketone.com.
You can't really be confident in your position until you actually know what your position is, and the vast majority of people don't even understand the globe model, so they actually don't know what they believe in. So that's really one reason I do this, is to encourage people to at least inform themselves about what they believe before they're so confident in it.
Thanks, Austin. Thanks so much, dude. Dave, lead us out. I'll stay on live after Dave's final here, but yeah, thank you both for coming on.
Cool. No, he's absolutely wrong. The default position is that the Earth is a sphere, and as predicted, he chose to obfuscate by going to relativity and Einstein and all these things, which are not helpful. Since antiquity, we've known that the Earth is a sphere. All observations demand that the Earth is a sphere. He was absolutely incapable of answering this. He just did a thing about, if you look in a different direction, it's going to spin the other way. Doesn't make any sense. Was totally unable to explain this. Utilized magnetic declination. Again, these positions are nowhere near the magnetic pole, and so the idea that they could just suddenly all be looking in the same direction because magnetic declination. I'm sorry, David Weiss. I'm sorry, Austin. This is not sufficient explanation. Day and night's regions of illumination. All we got was the little toddler shine a light on a thing where there's supposed to be a dome, even though there's not actually any dome, when the sun's going to be outside, or is it going to be inside? Doesn't make any sense either. South Pole, come back to that again, day and night. Southern Hemisphere, we did not get to any adequate explanation of how this route is possible. He just said, oh, they go really fast. I don't remember what he said, some wind or something. And we definitely have absolutely no explanation for this Antarctica Cup ocean race. These boats are not going all the way the entire world, turning the opposite direction of where they're actually turning. So I think that was pretty fun. I think we managed to stay away for the most part from the esoteric aspects of modern physics that Austin likes to spew his word salads about, and we stuck for the most part to things like gravity and things falling. So it was somewhat productive, but I do look forward to Austin going to South Pole.
Hell yeah. I'll go with you, bud.
Seeing the 24-hour sun, and then I can't wait to see his video saying, I now believe it's a sphere, and then we can be rid of this idiotic flat Earth disease. Forever, hopefully. Maybe in 1,000 years it'll come back somehow.
Gentlemen, you both killed it. You're both incredibly entertaining and very respectful and well prepared. And I want to thank you for coming on. And I want to remind everyone in chat, please do, I don't care who's quote unquote
All right, Chad. It's just been a lot of this. I mean, in the whole stream is just. I think this is like the first time I've ever designed something not using Classic Cube because I needed to get really precise. Instead, just going over whatever, So that's why I think that's why I didn't use. I had low block variety in a lot of my designs, is because if I scattered them all, they could look so much different in Classic Cube versus versus real Minecraft. Let's just get some screenshots. Oh my god, I need to print pieces in a stomach. Mine is fluent vientrum, vientrum, drum, 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 drum. Hold on, wait. This is actually kind of cooking. This video. Hold on. This is actually. I'm actually kind of cooking here. If more people join in. Okay, so I love this floor design. Like, this thing's genuinely awesome. I don't know what I'll surround it with, though. We'll just keep the gilded blackstone for now. But I really wanted to put beacons on those four because I have 2 beacons sitting in my inventory doing nothing, 3 nether stars. But one, I would have to punch not a hole through the center, instead of having a hole through the center, and then I can do non-solid blocks for the tip of the tower. I would, instead of doing that once, I would have to do that 5 times.
No, that's a double.
Limo Limo at your service. Here to help you save hundreds by customizing your
So,
car insurance with Liberty Mutual.
there is going to be an outline. I'm not sure if I want to keep gilded blackstone, though. But that's not going to really mesh well with this whole vibe that we got.
This is the Democrat Party. According to recent polling, including from the Wall Street Journal, Democrats have the lowest rating from voters in decades. This is a political party that's not only in shambles, but also in extreme denial. Here's Minnesota Attorney General Ellison at the DNC summer session.
And friends, do not let anybody say, why doesn't somebody do
I
something?
think I butt dialed them, and then I blocked them out of embarrassment.
This is not true. And I need you to have a list to tick it off. Wait a minute. Have we already forgotten Cory Booker being on the Senate floor, setting records, filibustering?
Now, you may remember, Cory Booker's 25-hour speech in the Senate floor, protesting against the Trump administration and Doge cuts, accomplished absolutely nothing, other than scoring him a book deal, a book which no one will read, by the way.
Have we already forgot the massive numbers of people who showed up on No King's Day? The massive numbers of people. And the Democratic Party was right there with everybody else leading the way.
There's a protest against Trump every weekend. Oh wow, impressive list.
Have we forgotten about our Texas Dems standing up so bold, so brave, so powerful?
Oh, more than 50 Democrat Texas House members led the state in a failed attempt to block a new congressional map.
So brave, so powerful. And even us, Democratic AGs, have sued this dude 44 times. And we'll sue him 44 more and 44 more after that.
Democrat AGs may have sued the Trump administration dozens of times, but they've lost the majority of those lawsuits. So you're doing God's work.
And we have sued him for gender-affirming care. Yes, we are not going to scapegoat our transgender community.
And we wonder why they're so unpopular. But other than touting their accomplishments, the DNC summer session was largely the same old, same old.
Just 7 months, Donald Trump has dragged our country into chaos. Donald Trump, Donald Trump.
We have a message to Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
But we know Trump isn't stopping. Look, here's the deal. I said this before, folks. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Trump administration, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump,
So lately, the Democrats exist entirely for two things. A, to resist every single policy set by the current administration, and B, to call Trump an authoritarian dictator.
This is authoritarian. It's fascism dressed in a red tie. We are seeing the rise, if not the rise of authoritarianism, we are seeing the classic playbook, a page out of the playbook of authoritarianism.
You have someone who is determined to behave as well as lead like a dictator. And his authoritarianism is something that is threatening our democracy. And then, of course, the president has made it very clear. He said that this will be the last election.
You probably don't remember Trump proclaiming that the next election was going to be the last election. Because Brandon Johnson, the most popular mayor in Chicago's history, is a liar.
Look, I can tell you this. I built a Holocaust museum. I know what the history was of a constitutional republic being overturned after an election in 53 days. And I can tell you that the playbook is the same. It's thwart the media. It's create mayhem that requires military interdiction. These are things that happened throughout history. And Donald Trump
Okay.
is just following
Whoa.
that playbook.
Yeah, Trump is Hitler, blah, blah, blah. They've been screaming about the end of democracy for the better part of a decade. Most famously by President Joe Biden.
Must be stronger, more determined, and more committed to saving American democracy. MAGA Republicans are destroying American democracy. Threat to American democracy is real. American democracy only works in a democracy. I love democracy.
Under what pretext do you want to arrest the governor, Mr. President? Well, he was elected. This is not bloviation. This is not exaggeration. It's happening. Don't get a do-over. 249 years. Those enduring values. Best of Roman Republic. Greek democracy. Co-equal branches of government. Popular sovereignty. The rule of law is being replaced with the rule of God. Period. Full stop.
Yep, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Next, Governor J.B. Pritzker was asked about President Trump potentially federalizing the National Guard in Chicago.
Deploying in Washington where he has federal control is one thing. But if he sends military forces into the major American cities to the state, then that's beyond Los Angeles. What do Americans make?
They should understand that he has other aims other than fighting crime. That's the first thing they should understand. The second is it's an attack on the American people by the President of the United States.
So according to Governor Paul, surging law enforcement in the murder capital of the United States
Okay.
criminals from committing crimes.
Okay. Let's build this thing.
The other aims are that he'd like to stop the elections in 2026.
Let's go back to the main world. This thing's going to be really expensive, but it looks so much better than that.
And then he's got troops on the ground that can take control.
Like infinitely better. Like that thing's sick. Okay. Verder's Foundation. Let's get it. If more people join in, the song will get better if more people. We're gonna replace this border of gilded blackstone with something else, maybe, probably. I don't know yet.
I have a 9-year-old, and it's not normal for my 9-year-old to go to school and to see a tank or an armed guard walking down the street.
So the Lieutenant Governor of Illinois is demonizing National Guard troops as some kind of violent threat, and then she claims that there's going to be tanks rolling down the street. Give me a break.
It's not normal for our business owners to try to attract business to their restaurants, their cafes, their small businesses, and know that there are going to be guards walking up and down the street, potentially armed in full uniform.
Wait, we can use this as like a sentry thing right for now.
The recent crime spree comes as crash and grab thieves hit 2 other Foot Locker stores in Chicago. One in the West Inglewood neighborhood and the other in Humboldt Park.
The whole neighborhood is just sick of people coming into the neighborhood and acting like they can just come ravage your stores, take what they want to take. They're trying to make you feel like you roll for the city.
with non-existent tanks rolling down the street, or criminals destroying his business? I'm guessing the latter.
I mean, come on. Let me ask you about a couple of your... Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Let me ask you about a couple...
Excuse me, and I know
it's impolite of you to be more calm than you are. A couple of your... but I'm not calm. And I'm not going to submit myself to niceties. Not when this guy's trying to wreck our goddamn country.
says the man in charge of wrecking California.
I don't think Donald Trump wants another election. I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
And you think he's going to run again?
Well, you know, who spends $200 million on a ballroom at their home and then leaves the house? This is serious, guys. This is serious.
Look, it's simple. President Trump is spending $200 million on a ballroom at the White House because, like the Lincoln bedrooms for it, everyone will be forced to call it the Trump ballroom.
You've seen it. He's trying to steal the last election. He's trying to rig it in plain sight this time. He wants to get rid of vote by mail. I'll remind you where he got this advice. Or at least he asserted he got the advice after literally, not figuratively, this is not pejorative, putting out the red carpet to Putin. Putin apparently gave him this advice.
First of all, Trump has wanted to get rid of mail ballots and replace it with same-day paper ballots for years. So it's not like he just came up with the idea. Second, why would Vladimir Putin tell Trump to only allow paper ballots when Putin himself has always scrapped paper ballots in their elections in favor of online balloting?
And my son said this. My 9-year-old got his mother and his Dutch just sitting there watching the president and say, why does he keep saying he's a dictator? People who keep saying things like that actually might be a dictator.
I'll take things that never happened for 800.
Answer. Here we go. I'm sick and tired of Democrats being on the losing end in this country and our democracy being on the losing end. We have got to fight fire with fire.
Communists can't even fight fire with water. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in.
All right.
See you next time.
Let's see if we can build the funny. So first, let's get this 5x5 square. It's just andesite, some stone brick stairs, some cobblestone. Okay, so we just need a lot of stone and andesite. That's actually not too bad. However, I don't know how to make andesite. Let's just hope it's not too bad. And we do have to remember that we literally have an entire, like, stone farm. Helsinki. That's, Finland. Yes!
Did you know if you squeeze all of the empty space out of the atoms that make up all 8 billion humans on Earth, our collective little matter will be just the size of a grape? And it's because the atoms that make up you, me, and everything else in the universe are 99.999% empty space. Even crazier, if you did this for our sun, it would become just the size of their atom. So if this is true, why don't our hands just pass through each other when we clap?
Electromagnetic force.
Well, it's actually because the negatively charged electrons in your hand are repelled by the electrons in mine. We feel as if we are touching, but our atoms never actually touch. Did you know if you squeeze all of the empty space out of the atom?
I literally never receive emails to this account, which is why when I decided to log in and check it the other day, only to find that the Mexican government emailed me requesting I do want a pay-to in Minecraft soon because someone's son was upset at my upload schedule. Dude, what is this? I was a little caught off guard. And while this could be fake, the threat of being extradited and thrown in jail if I didn't cooperate made the stakes way too high to risk it. So that very same night, we found a dupe on Sandycraft, and I got 2 of my good friends on Skyblock to destroy the Huh? Chief Keef? Dude, I don't have the rights to that song. If I use it in the intro cinematics, the video's just gonna get copyright struck. I'm gonna make no money. Get his bitch. Dude, stop it. I do not need to buy a new pair of rakes. I need money.
No.
I swear to fucking God. I swear to fucking.
So I need andesite. How do you make chisel? So this is the center. Luckily we have a beacon on hand. We're gonna do this until we get it right. Yes.
So it seems like Skyblock is the one that most people check.
Loki, I feel like Skyblock is the move. I want to be an assassin. Dude, I feel like that's aura.
I'm a magician.
Okay, then we'll do stone brick stairs. Do I have a stone cutter just on me?
Dude, the island, like the starting island is like OP as shit with that.
Oh, I joined Josh's
Should.
island. Alright, bro. Let's invite Sheds.
Slash eyes invite, what is his name?
Prospector Larry.
I literally have nothing I can get rid of, so we're just gonna smelt our ancient debris.
Like that one.
Look, this stuff spawns like ores, dude.
Ores?
It's not right. Yeah. We need some starter cash. I got like 2K.
We gamble. 2K as well. Not only was there 1 tube on this server, there was actually 2. So to get our starter cash, all we had to do was use an exploit at slash.
Why do I have like no furnaces?
Slash Warden.
Oh yeah, let's use them all for the thing.
This guy's on game.
Anything for I have
Okay, I'm just gonna
nothing.
do the old-fashioned way. Can someone give me money, like a decent bit, please?
So, man. I got 13K.
I'll take that.
Wait, that's method. So, Warden.
I do. Kit Vipers, I appreciate the support, but broke as hell.
Welcome back to Diss a Random Person. This is my friend in his fashion.
I did it. I made the world's first 2-stage energy shot. We are go for launch.
He sucks and he has no followers and he's broke and he's poor and he's what am I supposed to do again? Bro, reading is so hard. I'm gonna call Internet Personality 2 out to help me read. 2 out.
What?
I need help. Can you read what this says? I can't read it. I don't know how to read it.
Ask people to follow MK Croft on Roblox. When he hits 10K followers, free Minecraft account giveaway in my Discord.
If you want to sponsor the next section, my Bitcoin address is in the description.
Okay, we're just gonna.
I am gonna go ahead.
Oh.
And
How queer. Let me be clear.
You know, just get.
Oh.
I am an idea. I am an idea. You guys just go ahead and do your thing. I'm gonna.
Okay. First 4 done. Now I just need some
We'll
cobblestone.
for like 30
Watch
minutes.
this. Just ripped fat
Close
cheeks.
my eyes or go on Instagram for 30 minutes.
Yeah, just don't look behind the tree.
Level up my acrobatics.
How did I miss that badly?
Those acrobatics. That's like what gets you on the cheer team.
Okay.
But people don't understand
Next.
that
Okay, I actually should probably
they
try
can never be a
and
Dallas
get
Cowboys
some
cheerleader.
light gray.
Minions.
Larry might know what's going on here. I don't know if you know.
Oh, that worked. Now I got like 4 racks.
Oh, W.
Bro, I just voted the server a 1-star and they gave me a crate key.
Gamble, gamble, gamble.
Yo. Slash crates. Okay. Give me some
I
money,
still have
money,
this. Okay, cool. I don't need much glass. Let's just hope we have.
Receive a voucher that'll activate your. Oh my! I don't
Do I-
fucking want this. There, now we got double.
Do I have any light gray dye?
Hour.
See if there's like a flower or a squid.
And I'm gonna spend all my money.
Like an oxide daisy should give me light gray.
Alright, I just voted this one. Like I said, there was a place where I could
Is there
leave
blue
reviews
at?
that said shit ass. But
Better not be light blue. Let's
skeleton
go.
spawner. Ooh. Oh wait, let me check. Slash age.
Actually, should be enough.
No way, they're 5 now.
5 M's? What did I do?
/sell hand. I'm gonna list it for 2 million. Oh my god, someone bought it.
What? For 2.5 M's?
Yes, yes.
Dude, you just made 2.5 mil.
I swear to god, 2.5 million.
Wait. That's so good for
I swear to god.
That's so good for starting. This skeleton spawner was actually huge because it means we didn't have to grind gapples with the warden anymore, and we could finally get into the actual dupe exploit.
You see that person, Francis, in the chat?
Fuck.
Do you see that person?
Okay, so that's the bro. So that's the inner three.
You know that?
Well, who is that? What River, my goat.
Creamy frost.
So we need some stone brick, some andesite. That's it. So we have the stone.
Creme fresh, creme, or like creamy frost. Creamy frost. Oh, creamy frost.
We'll store that there for now. Ooh, maybe we could use some wither skeleton skulls.
So I want to order these Johns, but I'm not no fancy schmancy person.
So I need chiseled stone brick, which where'd my stone cutter? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll make our chiseled. We'll make that. We'll just throw that there for now.
Alright, Josh.
Oh. I'll place it there.
I did
What?
go ahead
That's so cool.
and build a base on our island. Feel free to come back to the island really quickly.
Wait, who
I'm
DM'd
waiting
me?
for you by the tree.
Wow.
Oh.
Where have I seen this before? Huh. Wow.
I wonder.
Wow, this looks familiar.
Does it? I don't remember where I would have.
Is this like a crossover episode or something? Nice. This is a nice house. This evil house?
I don't know what this would be called. I don't suppose anyone in the comments would possibly have a name for this.
Evil house. How do we put the square? How do you do that?
What? What?
Why
Why you turn it red? It's literally the method is. Let me see if I'm right about this. I could fumble really quickly. Miscellaneous. Conduit. Okay. Right click to sell. +10. +1. Save GUI. Close that out packet. Drop. V. Sell. Oh, I did it wrong.
Wow, it is hot as fuck in my room. I think I'm gonna die.
Say something we don't already know. Dude, who said that? What the hell, bro? My cat is
wait.
crazy today.
And then your cat's
No. Okay, how do I make andesite?
Let me kick him out the room. There he goes.
Right click it.
Andesite recipe.
Close out packet. Drop. V. Click.
Oh, it's diorite plus a cobblestone. Why don't I just fuck off for a little bit?
Onto the real juice, we were ready to make billions. We just had to stack enough conduits.
Wait.
The problem with that is that the dupe takes so much time.
I need to go
So I created a simple
that way.
script to automate it. All right, let's see if I remember how to do auto hotkey. Plug this in. Normal. So we're gonna change that key to be start and that key to be stop.
That hurt.
Send input. Sleep. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at what this all requires. Pressing the slash button, typing out store, and then pressing the enter button. I think it's like button press down.
Oh. Hey, dumbass. Good fucking driving.
Just so I can see if it's working. Alright. Let's see if this works. What are the odds this works first time?
So my name is John Kith Lucas. I go by Fallout in the gaming industry. I'm a professional.
Wait, I can just press F2. Hey, dumbass, good driving. What the fuck are we doing?
I've been doing this for a long time. I started off when I was 12, 13 years old, competing in major league gaming tournaments.
Work, please. Oh. 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 No way! It worked first try! It worked first try! Oh my god. Dude, it worked first try. There's one, like, I don't even think there's an edit. I just have to make this.
Oh, it's really hard to spell. Oh! It's really hard to spot andesite compared to like diorite. But we're gonna need a lot of this because it's super cool. Let's get like a stack. Maybe a stack and a half. 2 stacks. I need to start storing stuff in shulkers, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's working, dude. First try, bro. First try.
That's bananas, Super Trooper. How'd you do it?
After making some final adjustments to my beautiful, pristine, flawless, perfect even code, all we had to do was play the waiting game while our little robot duped its heart out and became the next Jeff Bezos.
Hello everyone, I'm going to start off today's video by saying the R word, rage bait. There are certain people in the world who just want to watch you get mad, so they intentionally post content that makes you mad. This is what rage bait is, and I like to think of myself as a fairly calm person. Not a lot makes me mad, but some rage bait is very good. So I'm going to be doing a little challenge today. I'm going to be watching some of the best rage bait I can find and seeing if it can make me mad. So let's get into it.
I went to grab a salad after the gym, but the waiter accidentally brought my usual order.
I'm not falling
I
for
was
it.
so hungry after my workout, so I couldn't resist. I still got a salad to balance my meal.
Okay,
The
very
thing
good.
was so
Very well balanced. I'm not falling for this rage bait. I have in the past, but this obese lady just posts videos saying, oh, I meant to go to the gym, but I accidentally ate some cookies. Silly me. And it's like every single post she makes. I don't know why you would choose that as a career, but it's what she does. And guess who's not angry about it? Me, because I'm a calm person
Oh.
and everything is fine.
I did not know
Let's
I had
move
that.
on to the next rage.
Number has more aura, 6, 7, or 41? 6, 7 has a lot of aura because it has its own handshake. But don't sleep on 41 because it has an elite hand signal. Which number do you think has more aura?
Speaking of why would you choose this as a career, this guy makes a career off of brain rot and 74 dinging. 74 dings per video. Bing, 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 bing. But that's something, it's rage bait. It's trying to make people upset. And I am a calm individual. Why would I get upset about that? No, it's fine. That's a perfectly reasonable thing to devote your life to. Making your parents proud by making brain rot edits with a million dings. That's fine. Nothing to be upset about. Let's move forward.
I hate getting into the shower.
I literally have to go to war with myself to get into the shower. But once I finally am in the shower, I hate having to get out. I found this might be a symptom of ADHD.
I hate getting into the shower.
I don't want to watch it twice. It's not real. You're just trying to make people mad. Oh, let me just put this in here. I'm pretty sure all of these are rage bait. Some of them could be real, but I think they're rage bait. One of the things that typically bothers me is when people, excuse a personal flaw for ADHD. Like when someone will be like, oh, I can't drive. I just hit a family of 4. I'm so ADHD quirky. It's a symptom of my ADHD. Or the worst one, when they say they can't focus on their homework because it's ADHD after they just watched Instagram Reels and YouTube
shorts for 10 minutes. That would be something that would make me angry, but this is just rage bait, and it reminded me of that. So I'm actually not angry. That's totally fine.
Okay.
Sometimes it's almost impossible to find the healthy meal.
So we might need so roughly my estimates say we're gonna need roughly a fuck ton of iron, and so we're gonna have to go mining because that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. That's 40 iron right there, all for the pretty texture. That's like half a stack of iron right there. So we're gonna need to get roughly all the iron ever. Luckily, in 1.16. I was about to say, luckily we have Fortune 3 plus InDev, but Fortune 3 doesn't mean shit. But the InDev Mega Veins will help.
Open it up.
You're gonna cook it though, right?
This is a sufficient meal.
You're gonna
If you prefer
cook it
cooked
though,
food,
right?
go ahead, bring a portable stove with you, throw it on a pan. But for me, if this is sufficient, I'm just gonna have it raw. This is full of protein, full of nutrients.
Sure, you love taking it raw, but here's the thing. I am fully convinced I'm gonna tell myself that these people that eat raw beef and raw chicken for the health benefits and the lack of seed oils, I am just gonna delusionally tell myself that all of those videos are rage bait and not real. Because it's not something worth getting angry over. That people would just sit around eating raw food all day and act like, you know, they're the greatest person ever. That's not something that's worth getting angry over. So I'm telling myself that it's rage bait and not real, although I actually don't know if that's the case.
When your kids say they don't like pizza pies, but all the slices, honestly.
First off, before we see this nonsense, who doesn't like pizza as a kid? There's always that one weird kid in the 3rd grade that doesn't like pizza. I remember him specifically from my 3rd grade. He makes a whole big deal. Oh, I actually don't like pizza. I'm cool. Like me. Like, you're not cool. You're weird. Everybody likes pizza.
Fewer.
Anyway, what are we doing?
Add onion powder, red
Okay,
pepper flakes,
fair. Good seasoning.
peanut butter,
What?
chocolate syrup,
Okay.
whipped cream, mustard, sprinkles, and a cookie. Voila.
It's just rage bait. It's just rage bait because this lady's whole page is making disgusting foods and saying, "Oh, your kids don't like this? Do this. Your kids don't like broccoli? Put, 10 pounds of Krispy Kreme donuts on top." Like, it's just rage bait. No reason to get upset. Why are you upset? I can see you frowning right now.
I'm gonna take a break since I'm just gonna be mining iron. Meaning I'm gonna head downstairs and get some food. I'll be back. I don't know. Where are you calling me? Oh, what's a prank? How could a question be a prank, you know? Okay, so allegedly, okay. So supposedly it helps your vision, but like it like gets away. It gets in like the way. What do you mean like that? Yeah, like supposedly, like allegedly it might help your vision, but like it gets in the way. Because okay, so for the sake of argument, suppose it does that. Like, how would it do that? Okay, but like it can't get inside your brain and fix it though. That's the issue. Lies like within the brain. Like it sees blurry, and like the glasses, they just kind of sit there and they don't help. My name's not. I'm like I was like an adult yesterday though. Okay, allegedly go into the principal's office. Oh fuck, we're just mining iron. God damn it, fuck. That's actually like a pretty decent amount of iron. How many anvils are there? There's 1, 2, 4, 8, 12, 16. 16 requires 27. I need 7 stacks of iron. I need 20. That's only 21 iron blocks. Never mind, dude. I do not need to mine that much iron. Oh, wait. That's only for anvils, though. And there's also, like, blast furnaces. But I also might just have some iron in reserve. I also need to get netherite. Just for the sake. Let's just say. I know. No, it's just for a second. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, allegedly. Suppose for the sake of it. Okay, for the sake. Jesus Christ, we gotta. Oh my god, and we have that beacon. No, agreed. Like, see, yeah, those are like. Okay. Me? Are you sure?
Tasks first in case they don't know. I have the best role in the game, so I had to run to electrical and hop in the vents. I found out the host turned on visual tasks, since yellow was scanning. As I was watching gray, lights turned off, and after a second I saw 3 frames of someone whose name starts with Z catch orange. Then gray ran up, and I saw that it was his name that starts with Z. For this reason, I blamed him during the meeting, and I also cleared yellow. Black is voted out due to White's accusation, but it was not him. We followed gray as he said that he had the medbay scan. He is now clear. What probably happened was someone else was standing on the light switches and killed next to Gray, but Gray did not see me. The game was going slow, as I was checking both the admin triangle vents and the Bermuda triangle vents without any kills. Right before my vent time ended, I saw Pink doing the scan in medbay, and exactly 7 seconds later, her body was reported by Kira. I asked him whether he saw anyone there, and after he said no, I instantly envisioned the only 3 possible situations that could have happened. Scenario 1, Kira ran into medbay, killed Pink, and immediately self-reported for whatever reason. Scenario 2, Kira ran into his teammate killing Pink, and instead of trying to escape, he played it safe and reported the body. Scenario 3, the imposter caught Pink and was able to immediately vent away, seconds before Kira saw what happened and reported. 2 out of 3 of these scenarios paint Kira as the culprit, so I was now suspicious of him. I cleared both yellow and gray, and even though I did that, the subject stupidly voted out gray. After doing a few tasks, I jumped back into the vents.
About like
While I
how
was watching
glasses
White
help
and security, a body was reported. I was
I don't
getting
know, man. Like,
confused since a
I don't
shapeshifter
understand how they
had
help
caught
your
me,
vision.
so I had to give up the fact
So,
that
like how does it use
it myself. I simply said that I saw White beam cams while I was in the vents, proving to him that I am clear. My suspicion was now on Rose, Red, and Blue. In the next round, I followed Rose since she said she had asteroids, and after seeing her do it, I was suspicious of Blue and Kira. I was hopping in the admin.
Okay, we need. Dude, blast furnaces are so expensive.
I saw Rose jump into a
and they have such a cool thing going for them. Okay, that's divisible by 3. We'll just make that. How much do we need? We need 1, 2. We need 8. So that's perfect. 3 times 8. 24.
I was watching Kira through the vents, but comms were sabotaged, so I could not stay in the vent.
And we need 8 times 5, we need 40.
Before I started doing wires, I saw someone on cams, and where the noisemaker
Banger.
died on the left side, I knew exactly where it happened. The body is reported, and when Kira asked where, I was now almost fully convinced it is him. This is because the noisemaker signal shows you where the kill was, and since I was on the right side, Kira had to have been even closer than me to the body. If that was not enough to convince others, Rose was with Banana when the kill happened, raising my suspicion from 99 to 100%. Kira is voted out, and this is where the detective masterclass ends. You might be one. Oh man, my phone just died. Oh, that's too bad. Would you like to come back to my place and charge it? This guy's so sketchy, man. No way. No, I wouldn't like to go back to your place. Oh, I'd love to. What? Oh man, my phone just died. Oh, that's too bad. Would you like to come back to my place and charge it? This guy's so sketchy, man. No way. No, I wouldn't like to go back to your place. Oh, I'd love to. What? Oh man, my phone just died. Oh, that's too bad. Would you like to come back to
Alright,
my
then we
place
need
and charge
basalt.
it? This guy's so sketchy, man. No way. No, I wouldn't like to go back to your place. Oh, I'd love to. What? Oh man, my phone just died. Oh, that's too bad. Would you like to come back to my place and charge it? This guy's so sketchy, man. No way. No, I wouldn't like to go back to your place. Oh, I'd love to. What? Oh man, my phone just died. Oh, that's too bad. Would you like to come back to my place and charge it?
Oh.
This guy's so sketchy, man. No way. No, I wouldn't like to go back to your place. Oh, I'd love to. What? Oh man, my phone just died. Oh, that's too bad. Would you like to come back to my place and charge it? This guy's so sketchy, man. No way. No, I wouldn't like to go back to your place. Oh, I'd love to. What? Oh man, my phone just died. Oh, that's too bad. Would you like to come back to my place and charge it? This guy's so sketchy, man. No way. No, I wouldn't like to go back to your place. Oh, I'd love to. What? Oh man, my phone just died. Oh, that's too bad. Would you like to come back to my place and charge it?
Do I come from the land down under?
No way. No, I wouldn't like to go back to your place. Oh.
Okay, so now that we have those all in order, because the subtle details are everything. Actually, not really. Subtle details don't really matter.
People always say, like, oh, history is written by the victors. Well, yeah, they were the good guys. Like, obviously, the good guys always win, and the bad guys lose. Like, that's kind of the whole point. That's, like, what happened, obviously. We were told that from the very beginning, that the good guys win, and the...
History is written by the victors. History is just written by whoever feels like writing, bro. Oh, we need a lot of shulker shells and netherite. Great. We need furnaces. Oh wait, luckily we have like a shit ton of cobblestone. Cobblestone, cobblestone, cobblestone. Allegedly.
Like a sequel. It's actually as good as the original.
Democrats
Or
absolutely no one. Jehovah's Witnesses
she
are
got
already
super
gaslighting
mad at
themselves
me.
after the most recent government audit, in which David Blaine clarified that obtaining additional education was a personal decision. Since the release of that video, I have seen dozens of comments by leading Jehovah's Witnesses justifying the announcement, saying that higher education has always been a personal decision. They will mention a relative or a friend who went to college without any problem from the elders, or they will mention their own experience.
Where's my stone?
And never had any problems. They will claim there was never a rule against higher education. Well, today I wanted to take a deep dive into this organization's long record of discouraging college, so that when people like this try to gaslight you, you can show them their receipts. I have already covered the deleted Tony Morris video and the Brother Brown episode in depth, so I'm not going to play those here, but if you haven't seen them, I invite you to do so because they're the most blatant example of Watchtower's anti-college rhetoric. But they're far from the only examples, as I will show you real soon.
I'm not sure exactly how to make a lodestone, but we're just gonna get a bunch of stone. I think it was like 8 chiseled stone brick. That's a thunderstorm.
For several reasons. First, it exposes you to bad association, aka non-Jehovah's Witnesses. These individuals will push you to do immoral things, like engage in premarital sex or abuse alcohol. Second, going to college exposes you to worldly philosophies, any academic teaching that contradicts Watchtower doctrine, such as the theory of evolution or philosophy. Third, going to college promotes materialism. Watchtower used to spam Matthew 6:33, keep on then, seeking first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these other things will be added to you. Jehovah's Witnesses have long used this verse to claim that as long as you put God's kingdom first, you will never lack any material necessities.
Oh.
So the answer to Watchtower, going to college demonstrated a lack of faith. You were putting your trust in Satan's system instead of Jehovah. And fourth, going to college was seen as a waste of time. Since its inception, Watchtower has claimed that we are living in the last days, and Armageddon could arrive any day now. If that's the case, then why spend 4 or 6 years of your life in college when you should be spending your time warning your neighbors about the imminent destruction? Watchtower will use any combination of these 4 reasons to push their anti-college message. Take a look at this 2008 Watchtower. Attending university was portrayed as a temptation of the devil, just like you would be tempted to smoke a cigarette or watch violent
Bruh.
movies or
That's awesome.
profile. That one didn't age well. No, thank you, sir. I would like to stay poor and uneducated, thank you. This 2011 Kingdom Ministry said, your children will no doubt experience new challenges and pressures. Are they prepared for the pressure they will receive to pursue higher education, date, and use alcohol or drugs? Yeah, putting college education on the same height as being offered drugs. Very solid. The message
I just
is
hate witches.
the opportunity to go to college was a temptation to be avoided if you were to make Jehovah happy. Are you still going to tell me this has always been a personal decision? Oh, but we're just getting started. Let's go through these 4 reasons, one by one.
Does the
Any time
devil
you
wear
spend in
Prada?
college is a waste of precious time that could be used to preach you the good news. This was the main rhetoric behind the anti-college articles, such as this 1969 Awake magazine, which we covered in the David's Blaine video. In the same year, we got this Watchtower, which said many schools now have student counselors who encourage them to pursue higher education after high school. To pursue a career with a future in the system of things, do not be influenced by them. Do not let them brainwash you with the devil's propaganda to get ahead, to make something of yourself
Bruh.
in this world. This
Man,
world
this
has
is like the
everything
worst
and
thunderstorm hole
any
ever. I'm
future
sucking
that
balls.
offers is no future. Wisely then, let God's word influence you in selecting a course that will result in protection and blessing.
No. Fucking
Make pioneer
dude.
service in full-time ministry with the possibility of Bethel or missionary service.
Dude, I
Your
suck.
role. And this 2008
Dude.
Watchtower said, what though of higher education received in a college or a university? This is widely viewed as vital to success, and many who pursue such education end up with their minds
Oh,
filled
hey, cool.
with harmful propaganda. Such education was valuable best used in Jehovah's service. Perhaps it is not surprising that in lands where many have received
Oh
such
shit.
an education, believing God just at an all-time low. It's rich, right? That the Watchtower claimed that if you listen to
Man, that sucks.
you are being brainwashed by the devil's propaganda. This is really powerful language.
Trident should not actually like physically leave your inventory. There should be a cooldown until it comes back, and if the item gets deleted, then it just immediately comes back. Because the fact that I can just throw my trident away into the void, is kind of annoying.
No doubt, school counselors sincerely believe that it is in your best interest to pursue higher education and to plan for a secular career. Yet their
I
confidence
think it's
lies in a
chiseled stone
social
brick.
and financial system that has no lasting future. No future, no lasting future. No wonder so many Jehovah's Witnesses bought into this. They truly believed the end was just around the corner. They bought into this horrible nihilism that could potentially ruin their lives.
This is hurting my soul. What if instead of wasting a shit ton of netherite, I just raided a bunch of bastions?
We all remember an illustration given in To the Wall Talks a lot. And it went something
We
like
have a
this.
lodestone.
Trying to improve your life in the system of things is like rearranging the tables in the Titanic. You probably heard that one going on, right? Well, the analogy sucks because I never heard of the Titanic taking more than 100 years to sink. And what's ironic about all of this is that the Watchtower has long had a soft spot. Trade schools. They have encouraged young JWs to go to a trade school instead of a university. Trade schools are usually 2 years, and the bachelor's is usually 4 years.
And this is really expensive.
Why is it that Watchtower was okay with going to a trade school and not going to a university? It's quite arbitrary. Or maybe it's because they wanted people to study trades that could be more easily exploited in construction projects, plumbers, electricians, and so on. But what's even crazier is that Watchtower is more than happy to accept the help of trained professionals like lawyers and doctors. In that Tony Morris video, we had the experience of this JW, Philip Brody, who was sent to law school by the Watchtower so he could interpret in the legal department. Oh, but if a random Jehovah's Witness wanted to become a lawyer, they would have been scolded by the congregation for the hypocrisy of this awful shots. But I'm not done, because while they encourage their followers to not invest in education in the future, Watchtower is more than happy to plan their building projects decades in advance, showing that they don't actually believe that the end is imminent.
But Satan, in effect, exhales the stinky spiritual world that makes people act like him, envy, greedy.
Watchtower has often painted people who pursue college as materialistic and prideful. This 1967 Watchtower said, rather than being content with sustenance and covering, those who devote themselves to getting a higher education usually want to be able to enjoy the rest of the things that money can buy. What's funny is that your level of education does not always correlate with your view towards money. I'm sure you've seen it. There's wealthy people who are very down to earth and generous, and there's poor people who are very superficial and always thinking of money. And another irony is that people with less education usually have to work more to make ends meet, which leaves them less time to spend in the ministry. Jehovah's Witnesses consider anyone outside of their religion as bad association, regardless of the quality of their character. Interacting with wealthy people outside in the workspace or in elementary school is seen as a necessary nuisance, something you just have to do. But going to college, well, that's seen as welcoming away yourself in dangerous way. This August 2021 study article claimed parents endeavor to know who your children are being taught in school. What if you find out that some of the teachings include philosophies that contradict the Bible? Use our publication to help your children reason and convincing evidence. Also, beware of exposing your children to universities where belief in God is foreign by identity. I don't know about you guys, but I never met anyone in college who scored for believing it. In fact, there was even a youth Christ group in my campus here in Texas. If you're familiar with my life story, you know that I used to preach to my classmates during my lunch break when I was in community college. And of the hundreds of students I talked to, I don't remember any of them ever making fun of me for my faith. But in the Watchtower publications, college students are constantly demonized. I quote, university and college campuses are notorious for bad behavior, drug and alcohol abuse, immorality, cheating, hazing, and the list goes on. The disintegration of sexual morals is made worse by the current drug craze. Most students in college have at least experimented with some kind of drug. So by guiding their children away from so-called higher education of today, these parents spare their children exposure to an increasingly demoralizing atmosphere, and at the same time prepare them for life in a new system as well. Now, are some college students taking drugs and having sex? Of course, but so are people in the workplace. This has never led the governing body to discourage going to work. So why discourage college? Simply a double standard. This 1982 Watchtower claim, but it may be objective. Not everyone who goes to university loses his Christian faith or dies of drug overdose. This is true. Some graduates have become valued and hardworking members of the Christian congregation. But consider, it is also true that not every child who plays on a busy street will get killed by a passing automobile. Some survive to grow up. But would you let your children play in the street in traffic because of that? Does this mean that it is wrong to attend university? This is something each parent should decide for the sole child. Okay, so they left the question
Interesting.
to be like an illusion of choice, but then compare going to college with a child playing on a busy street and potentially getting killed. So what
Okay.
are they implying here? That going to college
You need to
is
find the
free,
lodestone.
needless danger, which again makes no sense because you are also exposed to these so-called spiritual dangers in high school and the workplace. I would argue that those are even more spiritually dangerous since you're forced to spend more time with your worldly acquaintances, recent, or at work. In college, it's much easier to just keep to yourself and concentrate on your classes. You're not forced to socialize as often as you do in high school or at work.
Why won't you smoke this cigarette? Are you afraid of the cheating?
As we have seen, these are not good reasons to avoid college. You can avoid negative influences, just like you do in high school or work. Going to college does not make you materialistic or prideful. And there's no reason to believe the end is imminent, since this religion has been crying wolf for decades. And what should be more important to a believing Christian, the Bible never speaks against going to college. It speaks against vanity and pridefulness and not being generous, but never against education. No, the real reason why Watchtower has been
What?
opposed to college for so long is because they don't want people to think critically. Thinking critically means investigating claims, comparing evidence, and citing your sources. And these are things that Watchtower does not want you to do.
Being most intelligent and eloquent professors will be trying to reshape the thinking of your children, and their influence can be tremendous. What's a fourth means by which Satan attempts to fashion us, reshaping our thinking?
What?
Higher education. Its whole purpose is for learning, influencing one's thinking. And while a person's intention might be just to create a stable base for a secular future, his decision could expose him to unscriptural ideas and practices.
The Watchtower publications are full of bad, terrible scholarship, such as that brochure against evolution that we saw earlier. That one is super full of misquotations. Of course, they don't want you going to college. College you learn outside your sources. They don't want you to be exposed to outside ideas that contradict their doctrine. Educated people are more likely to identify logical fallacies, and this religion is
It's cool.
Education was what eventually destroyed my faith. And I wasn't even taking advanced philosophy classes or something. No, I'm talking high school level biology and history. Education is the enemy of this religion, and it has been that way since it began. Just take a look at what Charles Taze Russell had to say. This was the founder of the Bastion, which would later rebrand itself as Jehovah's Witnesses. This is way back in 1910. Question: should the saints go right on and educate the children in this day for earthly positions, knowing they will not get into those positions in this age? Will such an education
After this one, I think I'm gonna go to bed.
be of value in this millennium? And the answer from Charles Taze.
It's always like I'll last this and I'll go to bed, and it ends up being like 3 hours because it's gonna be like a pain. Oh, it's oh, oops. That's why they weren't bad. Forgot to change the difficulty back so all my builds don't get hit with a nuclear bomb. Quit that.
I advise all Christians not to send their children to colleges or universities, for if they do, they'll risk a great deal through infidelity and unbelief, and they'll be doing their children a possible injury. I think of a dear Christian brother who inquired of me about 5 years ago in regard to sending his daughter to a female college. I advised to the contrary, stating that she would probably lose her faith in the Bible. My advice is then, give your children an education up to the public school limits, not even
Okay, so there's a pig one standing there.
high school, where they get plenty of higher criticism in the high schools, and it would not be long before they have it in the common schools. Does it sound familiar? Don't send your kids to college because the end is very near, and they will lose their faith in the Bible. These clowns have been spewing this nonsense for more than 100 years. The folk drama of creation, at least in 1914, depicted colleges as an instrument of Satan.
Please tell me it loads down. God damn it.
Russell's successor, continued with this
Quick in and out 5-minute adventure. They said, I am they.
young people would not even grow old before Armageddon. What was frustrating about all of this is that the organization actually relaxed the rules for college education for a brief time, starting in 1992.
I'll take that though. Maybe I'll be fine. Okay, let's finish up lodestones, then we'll start drawing. Minus 14, 10. Dude, my eyes like are fucked. Oh wait. Maybe I'll just go to bed instead. Yeah.